Thank you, Rob. And here come the Purdue Boilermakers. On December 2nd, Rob, you're right, the Big Ten title game will be played in this very building tonight. Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders, and I begin our Big Ten and college football season. And Spencer, good to be with you again, my friend.
Well, it never gets old, Tim, and you look good, brother.
And the Louisville Cardinals are the opposition for tonight's game. A team that's truly outstanding, but Purdue believes in David Blough. They've got an answer at the quarterback position, but the young man hurt himself in practice a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that has been 2 weeks ago, and he's still feeling some effects of that. It's lingering right now, but he gives them their best chance from experience. He started all 12 last year, but look for Elijah Singular to come in and play as well. If I'm naming a starter right now, he's playing more efficiently. And then Jared Sparks, the redshirt freshman, if they get in that red area, Tim, look for him. He expands the game a little bit, and he gives you that option, which is rare.
A rare opportunity for us to have a Heisman Trophy winner playing in the college game. And Lamar Jackson and the Louisville Cardinals, a team that was 9-1 a year ago at one time, ended on an 0-3 skid. They're looking to right the ship. And here comes the Heisman winner and his Cardinals. One of the things that you notice about Lamar Jackson when discussing his season is that he's not there yet, and he knows it. He believes that last year he let his team down, and he doesn't just have a chip on his shoulder, he's got a boulder on his shoulder.
Tim, I don't think I've ever seen a Heisman Trophy winner defending his title come in with less acclaim in that second year, but that's the situation. And he knows the media probably has held him accountable for this team. They limped to the finish line last year. There was a 4-game stretch where his completion percentage was under 50%. You can't have that. And of course, they lost 3 straight, as you alluded to. The chip on the shoulder is growing by the minute. I spoke to him on Matt Leinart as well. This guy is hell-bent for election. He wants to do well tonight.
Like television, coaching can be an incestuous industry. And we're going to have more on the relationship between Jeff Brom and Bobby Petrino. And it is immense when Holly Saunders joins you when we come back to Indianapolis. Summer practice is over. The fall campaign is set to begin. The Boilermakers and the Cardinals have only played once. 30 years ago. They go at it tonight on Fox. And I'm proud to announce the third member of our broadcast team is Holly Saunders, and she's got more on this Brom-Petrino connection.
Yes, thank you so much, Tim. Well, when Coach Brom looks across the field, he sees a familiar foe in Bobby Petrino, exactly what you were just saying. Now, their coaching roots go back to 2003 when Brom was hired by Petrino to be the quarterbacks coach at Louisville for 3 years. And then they later reconnected in 2013 when Brom served as offensive coordinator for Western Kentucky. And get this, the two have become such good friends over the years that Brom says that he was actually invited to Petrino's daughter's wedding earlier this summer. He said he was seated at the back of the room and he was served last, but Petrino was pretty cordial. And Bobby told us that his daughter might have been a little too cordial for his liking, but the smiles are gone now. One thing is for certain, Brom said that he knows until that clock runs out today, he is viewed as the enemy, Tim.
No doubt about it. It's all business now. Thank you, Holly. Spencer Evans will be kicking off. He handles a lot of long kicks for Purdue as well. We may see him try from beyond the 45-yard line. He's out of Arlington, Texas. And back deep, a couple of big burners. Keep a real eye on these two, Jair Alexander and Seth Dawkins. Dawkins, one of the top return men in the country a season ago.
Alexander is huge as well. Again, he's an All-American at that corner position, but he is one of the elite return men. Super speed. 2 threats back here, Tim.
Special teams has played a large role in this opening day for college football. And here we go. It's Dawkins. Yeah, what did I tell you? Right away, great field position. Evans, the kicker, ushered him out of bounds.
And it was Alexander, his battery mate, back there with him that's going to give number 8 great field position. That's playing complimentary football. Lamar Jackson 51 total TDs. This guy's impressive. 1,500 yards rushing, over 3,500 yards passing. Nobody in the history of college football has ever done that.
The return out to the 43. So an outstanding return and quality field position for the Cardinals to work with. As the Heisman Trophy winner with Reggie Bonifant, a real go-to guy. He'll line up at wide receiver or at setback, is with him. Play fake. Over the middle between the hashes and incomplete. Overthrown. Intended for Jalen Smith. And let's get a couple of Tillman's takes for tonight's game.
Well, they've already taken one of them this first play. You got to improve your progressions if you're Lamar Jackson. You got a better offensive line, a better coach coaching them up front. If the opportunities are not there, check the ball down when all of those options have left. And then for their part, defensive coordinators Nick Holt and Andy Poindexter are going to give them varied looks so that they can confuse him. They better do it in a hurry because that vertical route is going to be open.
Smith is the #1 go-to guy at wide receiver. Now you see Bonifant taking over the right side. He's ahead for about 5. Jawan Bentley, most career starts. He's the 2-time team captain. 10 tackles last year in one single game, the most that he had. But he really governs this linebacker deep Purdue team. They rely on the linebacking position in Nick Holt's defense. Here we go, 3rd down and 5. Over the middle and caught. It's Dawkins, and he's down inside the Boilermaker 35 at the 34-yard line.
Marcus Bailey is the inside linebacker in the middle, and that was just a dart, putting stress on the middle of the field. They went to the quarter of the field at Jackson on the previous play. So again, Bobby Petrino early on taking advantage of the vertical passing game with a little pace and tempo. They're not really snapping it as fast. They're just getting to the line of scrimmage to give himself time to discern what the play is going to be.
Travion Samuel is in the slot to the left side on 1st and 10. It's the read. It's Lamar Jackson. He'll get you 8-9 yards a tote. Almost enough for the first down. Very close indeed. T.J. Jallow, a real hitter at that free safety position, coming over from Eastern Mississippi Community College. Getting his first opportunity at this level. Young man from Olive Branch, just outside Oxford, Mississippi.
Well, they may need some peace here in a minute if they don't find a way to hold down number 8, because he has taken advantage of the game. Now he's got him worried about the back end. Now the run game is working.
Well, they've got premature movement against Louisville. That'll set them back. So it'll go from 2nd and 1, and the playbook may shrink a little bit on 3rd, 2nd, and 6.
Offense, number 9, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Again, the read option route underneath. He takes it, pulls the first option away. He's the second option as the quarterback. And you can see he's 13 pounds heavier than he was. Not willing to just take the brunt of it. He puts his helmet down and delivers a blow as well.
Our referee tonight is Dwayne Haight. It's now 2nd down and 6. Bonifant now you see spreads out to the top of your screen. Quick drop, and that pass right over the middle, complete to Smith. Jalen Smith, the first down.
Boy, what a dot there against kind of a banjo coverage inside out. Jawan Bentley, number 4, the wheel
Personal
backer.
foul, roughing the passer, number 7, defense, half the distance to the goal from the end of the run.
Well,
First
again,
down.
after the ball is left, number 7, you can see he puts that arm on right there. Eddie Wilson up front. He's one of the main forces that's going to be charged with the responsibility, along with Guyland Robinson and company, to get pressure on number 8.
Please reset the game clock.
He's a little excited, obviously. These linebackers are trying to take advantage of a redshirt freshman center, Robbie Bell, who's getting his first indoctrination in anchoring and reading for this offense that now has an old coach and friend of Bobby Petrino's that he's hired 5 different times. Mike Summers is back as the O-line coach for Petrino. That time a little too much from Eddie Wilson, but the difference is about 4 yards. They'll set the ball up inside the 5-yard line. Bonifant remains in the backfield as the lone setback.
Yeah, but Bell, as you said, is the guy that's going to make those calls down there in the center.
Wow.
Wow.
More trouble. A little bit of what's happening there, that snap count conversation piece, Eddie Wilson forcing that, I believe, mistake by Louisville, and that'll back him up.
False start, offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And I think, again, you see Lakias McNeil is guilty, the junior from Indianapolis. A lot of talk going on pre-snap.
Well, Lakias is about 6'6", 324 pounds, and when you get in the red area, everything gets compressed, and you want to execute extremely well because execution comes as a premium, but you've got to be disciplined down here as well.
Jackson option into the boundary. Taken out of bounds after a gain of about 2. That's it. Josh Okonye, the transfer from Wake Forest. He's a fifth-year guy. He played 2 times in 2 seasons at free safety at Wake against Lamar Jackson. He came over along with his defensive back coach, Derek Jackson, on the Jeff Brom staff.
Tim, we've got 2 of the greatest offensive minds in Jeff Brom and Bobby Petrino in this game, but that was a really odd option route where the back went the opposite direction initially from Jackson.
It's Lamar Jackson on the read. How about that?
Good Lord.
Burrows inside the 2 to about the 1. And he really had Purdue and could have had us fooled. I waited a while before I thought Bonifant might have had that ball.
He was like a whirling dervish. So spinning top. Jawad Bentley had a shot at him, number 4. But, man, I don't know. That just defies the laws of physics to be able to pivot and make that run.
Jeremy Smith, the senior from Hammond, Louisiana, comes in on goal line. 3rd down. Lost it. It's on the ground. And Purdue's got it. The Boilermakers have it. Wow. It's Danny Easy-Tuku making it look easy. The young man from Lithonia, Georgia.
He was the walrus, cuckoo, Kachu. He was headed the other direction, baby. And number 8 did everything he possibly could to bring him down. A critical penalty as you're knocking on the door for a score to put up an early punch. It's amazing.
I'm a little surprised they went to a back that hadn't toted it yet. They bring Jeremy Smith in, and he really never got it. There was a problem with the snap.
Yeah, it really was. And again, you wonder whether or not Bell had something to do with that. When you're in these close quarters inside the red zone, those defenses are going to get really aggressive. So if you're pulling as a center or a guard, you're initially going to get pushed back. So you've got to be braced for it and ready to anchor yourself down. There's a lot of action going, and they're trying to sort it out on the sideline. Securing the ball.
1st and 10 now for the Boilers. That pass batted down. Trayvon comes up with that big mitt, and it's Elijah Sindelar that does get the start over David Blough.
There you go, Timmy. We got the early take on who's the healthy quarterback, and we thought it was going to be Blough, but it's Sindelar.
Now, there was an open conversation that we had with Jeff. It could have gone either way. Clearly, in practice on Thursday when we were there, he was not at 100%. Tario Fuller, number 25, is in the backfield. And Sindelar gives it to him. Not much room there. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage. James Hearns, 99, a really good rush end. Senior from Tallahassee.
He's a big one, too. He's 6'3", 249. And again, as you said, from Tallahassee, he's going to be one of those guys that be forced to keep this run game in control. Markel Jones, DJ Knox, Richie Worship and company have got to be able to push the chains and move it forward and win on 1st and 2nd down. So far, it's Louisville controlling it early down.
Little dump pass, nothing much for Fuller there. Tario Fuller, as G. Robinson, 94, led the charge. And that will lead to a punt formation coming up.
You can see the games and the deals work on the outside. Robinson and company, boy, they flow, they run and chase, do these Cardinals from sideline to sideline. You can see in that series a clear athletic advantage in terms of lateral speed.
If they punt, you'll see that Sindelar is still out there. We're showing 4th down.
Wow.
Remember now, he can punt the football, Elijah Sindelar. He's done it many times, and he does. High end over end to Jair Alexander from the 10, and he's got room. A lot of room. A hanky is down. Little yellow hanky back at the 18-yard line. 56-yard boot, 38-yard return, but hold everything.
during the return. Block in the back. Number 10, other receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
After the turnover, the Cardinals have it back when we return. Both quarterbacks you see there, Elijah Sindelar, the sophomore from Princeton, Kentucky, and the junior from Carrollton, Texas, David Blough. We may still see David. Jeff was very honest with us when we met. He just didn't know if Blough would get well enough to play. And his last few practices, when he had the sore shoulder, Sindelar looked awfully good, but not much accomplished on that first series. Here's Louisville from their own 5-yard line with Bonifant in the backfield. And it's Bonifant. He's ahead beyond the 10 to nearly the 12-yard line. Mark it at the 11. Jalen Robinson, number 13, the senior from Shearville, Indiana, makes the stop.
I'll tell you, Payas McNeil, number 72, as we look at Robinson, they've got their hands full because there are some athletic interior linemen for this Cardinal offensive front, and they are absolutely massive.
Second down and 5. Nothing doing. Great pursuit from Lorenzo Neal. St. Thomas High School in your home of Houston, Texas. And by the way, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in South Central and Southeast Texas.
Yep, you can see him make that little dart right there in that A gap. Neal Sr. goes up. He can't let that guy pass him because, again, he's too quick in the middle of that field. Lorenzo Neal playing more like a fullback by the name of Lorenzo Neal many years ago.
Third down and 6. Jackson swings it out. Not much room, though, for Bonifant as he ran out of real estate along the sideline. DeJuan Hunt, number 2, ushered him out. And it's a 4th and 7 coming up, and Lamar Jackson and company will have to trot back to the sidelines.
So that's a big win. Now they get a chance to flip the field a little bit and get field position. And no matter which quarterback comes in, it's going to come back to this. Don't expect Purdue to go vertical. They're going to try to control and extend this game, keep the ball on the ground, and try to get it slow and keep this offense of the Cardinals off the field.
Jackson Anthrop, number 33, redshirt freshman from West Lafayette, homespun star, is awaiting the kick from Mason King. No flag, even though he hit the deck, and it's a poor punt. Great field position coming for the Boilers when we return. The largest freestanding bass drum. The Boilers in good position when we come back. Fox College Football is sponsored by Discover Card. We treat you like you treat you. And by Element Electronics. Power on. That's what we're doing as young Elijah Sindelar comes back onto the field. Well, this is the cradle of quarterbacks. So many great ones. Blough, who had an outstanding season a year ago despite the 3-9 record. But you go back to, gosh, Kyle Orton, and of course more recently during that Super Bowl run with the Saints, Drew Brees. He actually called Blough earlier this week. They were the Manning Passing Academy with him. Here's Sindelar.
Boy, plenty of time in the pocket.
All kinds of pushing and shoving in that secondary. That's got to be pass interference against Jair Alexander. I mean, that was more than just incidental contact. And there's a penalty flag down.
Holding. Defense. Number 10. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Indeed, that was Alexander. Press coverage. He's got that arm on the outside shoulder. Boy, he's mugging him down there. They're going to catch that every single time. But I'll tell you what. A defensive line that's putting pressure on the quarterback saves you from that. That initial pop, they're going to allow that. But once those arms and hands go outside the shoulder pads, you're done.
Yeah, I thought a UFC bout had just broken out. Markel Jones is the lone setback.
Nice nasty blitz off the corner.
And there's a little leaper to the corner. Wow. Was it brought in? No. Just almost a Velcro one-handed catch by Anthony Mahongu, number 21, senior from Parks Frank. There you see number 21.
Hungu got that left hand in there, and Jeff Brom he's really creative, man. He's one of the brightest minds in this game. And you can see Washington's got that left hand open, and he's holding him.
This is the youngster from Paris, and he almost made an out-of-this-world catch. Jones remains in the backfield. Play fake again, looking long in the seam, and it's overthrown. Intended for Isaac Zico. He was there, just overshot him, and you got to believe Sindelar's got a lot of adrenaline pumping.
Isaac Zico, though, was double covered. That would have been a nice little skinny post route if he could have squeezed it in there. But the route was up the field, and you can see he bends it inside. Nice route, but again, the ball just beyond his grasp, and that's a tough throw to make, throwing deep with accuracy in that type of coverage.
Third down and 10.
Just a three-man rush.
Looking long in the corner again. After it, he's got it. Touchdown, Boilermakers.
Tim, that was clearly a mix-up in the back end in coverage, and Peter Sherman and Mike Summers, the defensive coordinators, will have to take a look at this because, again, this ball was thrown exactly in that deep part of the corner where it needed to be able to make a play, and that was Clay Bolden back there in the back. Had a chance to defend it, came up short. Busted assignment.
How about the redshirt freshman from West Lafayette Central Catholic bringing that one in? That was Purdue's first positive yardage play of the evening. It goes for a touchdown, a little post corner. Loop it long and see if your guy can run under it. Elijah's night with a redshirt freshman on the receiving end. Jackson Anthrop said earlier this week in the Indianapolis Star that his quarterback had been on point during the season. Well, look at this.
It's really just a busted assignment. The natural corner route comes through, and they just didn't sort it out. They were manned up in the back half of that coverage. That was an easy assignment. Just discern who it is that you're covering, lock him up, and then cover.
Acted as though it were a little bit of a late, long pick play.
Yeah, it was. It was a natural pick. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a great take, Tim. It was a natural pick, but it was because the receivers actually slowed down, and that caused the confusion in the coverage.
Alexander and Dawkins are back deep. That penalty on Dawkins got that series going. It was the only other positive play before the touchdown toss. This one's on the deck, picked up by Dawkins. Good coverage by the Boilermakers. This is a team that, well, when you have a late flag, looks like we got a late flag. Little chippy over there along the Louisville sidelines. And our referee, David Haight, will have to take care of it. Dwayne Haight. Looked like we may have had a late hit here.
You can see Alexander's out of bounds, and then that head is down.
Oh, boy. Yep. I'm going to call that every time.
It's either T.J. Gallo.
It was Jallow. 19-yard return. But they will tack more on, I would suspect.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 5, kicking team, 15-yard penalty. First down.
One of the points of emphasis at both levels is protecting players that are defenseless, whether it's within the boundary or outside the field of play. And Jeff Brom certainly still coaching him up.
Well, I think Jeff is pointing out how's my guy going to know where he is on the field. He's in a tackling position, but he was out of bounds, and at this point, right about there, he should know.
Yeah, but
the takedown is going to get the flag every time.
He had his head down, and I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah. Jeremy Smith remains in the backfield. He fumbled at the goal line earlier. Easy Chuku came up with it and stopped a Louisville drive that really kind of turned the momentum of the game early on. Ball is set at the 36-yard line, so not much, no gain. We'll call it second down and 10 coming up.
And part of that was Eddie Wilson, number 7 up front, and that nose tackle, or kind of a half-two technique, shaded, was in the backfield.
Jackson Look at that footwork.
Wow.
This is where he's really tough. This is where he's really tough. It's complete. It's Dawkins. And it's a first down at the 43-yard line of Purdue.
Well, there's no defense for that, Tim, but I can tell you from a concept, you've got anchors on the outside. You keep him funneled in, which is the goal and the objective. Playing with nice leverage are the Boilermakers, but he just improvises and gets outside and makes an incredible throw and catch. But in any other play, any other player, that's a win.
Jackson again.
Could be holding.
No flag. That throw is also a laser that's caught. Inside the 30 at the 28. Des Fitzpatrick, the redshirt freshman, I'm with you. There was a hole that went uncalled right there.
Well, again, because he's able to get outside the pocket, very many quarterbacks can throw one direction while he's running that way and then put enough off of it so that he can control that ball. That's some of the things that you didn't see last year. Going one direction and throwing with accuracy down the field. And the intermediate routes, he was pretty good at it, but that's an improvement in his game on that last play.
Premature movement. I think the biggest player on the field was guilty this time. Mekhi Becton, the freshman.
Ball start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Mekhi Becton, you could argue, has gotten more preseason billing than the Heisman Trophy returnee. This kid is incredible. Highland Springs, Virginia. Everybody was after him. The mom, Simone, said he was always going to go to Louisville. Bobby Petrino didn't really believe it, but he can reverse dunk the basketball. He is incredible. Got Jonathan Ogden size.
Yes.
Jackson. Out to Malik Williams, number 29. And he's got it inside the 25. Still won't go down. Finally, they really meant it about the 23, it would appear.
They're using Marcus Bailey pretty much all over the field, and this matchup is an uneven matchup right there. Lamar Jackson is going to win that every single time. Excellent throw and catch. Run after the throw. It's looking like a Heisman Trophy candidate already.
You think? It's awfully difficult to repeat. Matt Leinart, when he came back, and Reggie Bush won it in 2005, finished third in the ballot. And there's Lamar Jackson with a little power, and you can run that a lot with that young man, but Petrino was quick to point out that he would like to see less of that this season. He'd really like to get more out of the run game with someone other than number 8.
Yeah, Jeremy Smith, of course, and then Trey Smith have a chance to do it. Again, that's going to serve them well if they can take some of those carries off of number 8.
First down with Bonifant and Malik Williams in the backfield. Jackson, quick curl, and it's caught at the 5-yard line by Jalen Smith.
Loving the arm strength there. Jalen Smith paid it off. You can see it's a laser. He's got that ball up high, and with a quick release, despite the juggle, Jalen Smith hauls it in, third in the FBS in yards per reception last year with 22.2 per catch. In the red zone, you don't need that much. You just need sure hands.
2nd and 2, the ball at the 5. Jackson. The extra effort and the height, he's very close to what would be a first down and an extra set of downs for the Cardinals to work with.
Well, just as a rule, Tim, when you get down here, it gets really tight in that space, and you subject your quarterback to more hits. I love for Bobby Petrino to kind of find a play-action way. The power game is okay, but drop in some RPOs to get him on the edge and put some stress on the perimeter of this defense.
Run pass option opportunity, so much a part of today's college game. It is first down. Nice little bootleg action. The toss, touchdown, Louisville. Jordan Davis.
And Tim, by the letter of the law, Jordan Davis is the recipient of that, but that was a run pass option. They didn't stretch it to the wide side of the field, but after the spin option coming out, that was the first stage of the option. You can see it comes out here. That read is one of the first steps you make. He could have run it had not 45 been chasing him, but Jackson was in the back of the end zone to complete it. Those were 3 opportunities. He took the pass.
Blanton Cricky with the extra point. And the left footer puts it right through. We thought it would be entertaining and exciting, and it was. Lamar doing his thing. Outstanding touch, and we're tied at 7 in Indy. Fox College Football is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders. That scoring drive, 8 plays, 64 yards, 3:48 off the clock. Jordan Davis, who got caught up in that mess with the running back Jeremy Smith when the turnover occurred. He was an up back, and I think in some ways disrupted that play on the snap. Atoned there with the touchdown reception. Blanton Creaky will kick it away for Louisville. Markel Jones and DJ Knox are back deep. And it's Markel Jones. Dumped down at the 17-yard line. And Elijah Sindelar coming off of that opportunity. Couple of misses, but then all of a sudden, hello, how do you do?
Well, he was able to put that ball up. Got some depth opportunities, came close a couple of times. Over the top another time, but when he finally settled in and strike, it was a result in part of a botched coverage on the part of the Cardinals. Got caught up in no man's land in a man scheme, and a natural pick occurred to get points on the board for the Purdue Boilermakers.
I think it's the kind of offense that likes to get vertical, both with Blough and with Petrino, and he needs the guy with a stronger arm tonight.
Absolutely, there's no question about it. But again, you know he wants to keep the ball on the ground, extend the play, but if they can score, it's game on.
Looking down the seam, that pass thrown behind the intended receiver. Romaine Washington in coverage on Gregory Phillips. Let's get to Greg Wolf in Los Angeles with an update.
Tim, thanks. From the reigning Heisman winner to this year's preseason favorite, Sam Darnold, number 4 USC, trailing Western Michigan. Darnold takes it into his own hands. 11-yard score that would tie it up. The Trojans have since taken the lead on a Stephen Carr touchdown run. They lead at 28-21 fourth quarter. Tim, Spencer, back to you.
A matchup of two teams that were in New Year's Six-day bowl games a year ago. That swing is out to Gregory Phillips. Gets it out to the 25. Well, they're no longer rowing the boat at Western Michigan. That's in Minnesota now here in the Big Ten. But a bevy of talent was left by P.J. Fleck at Western Michigan.
No question. Again, they were a team that did push the ball up the field. They've got a lot of skill position players that are outstanding. Route runners, running backs. They are loaded with talent.
3rd down and 3. Fuller the setback. Anthrop in motion.
Pressure.
Off the edge. That ball, the pass, the trajectory was affected by that pressure that came from Stacy Thomas, number 32, the senior middle linebacker, leader out of Gulliver Prep.
Yeah, he came off that edge, Tim, and got his hands in the face. Sindelar couldn't do anything with it. The pressure was too quick. It was disguised extremely well, and he came off that corner, man. I'm telling you, that's a scary sight to see the guy that's unaccounted for flash in front of your face. Tremendous job of the pressure package there by the Cardinals.
Shopper will punt it away. Jair Alexander is back deep. He's standing at the 34-yard line of Louisville. Beautiful high punt and a fair catch called for at the 21-yard line. Well, it was an up and down roller coaster ride, but they got nationally significant. Number 5 in the AP poll on November the 12th. Lost their final 3 games by a combined score of 106-55. Finished the season ranked 21 in the final AP poll, and Lamar had really done all he needed to do numbers-wise to hoist the Heisman Trophy.
That trickle to the finish line, though, upset a lot of people. And again, the top of the show, we talked about the nondescript end and how that impacted the acclaim that you would typically have for a Heisman Trophy winner that's defending the title. Not there this year, but he's playing like he's going to earn that and improve.
Reggie Bonifant remains in the backfield. Pressure coming right up the middle. Jackson on the move. Incomplete. You know, that's what Houston did in their win against Louisville after the Clemson defeat. They got a lot of pressure from inside, and that happened here again. Marcus Bailey, 21, coming through.
Yeah, Marcus did a great job. They had a games and a deals where they're swapping responsibilities in the interior side of that line, and it's really tough as an offensive lineman to discern where that responsibility is. Those smaller guys that are swapping, and you're 290 pounds, and that guy's weighing about 210, that's really tough to pick up.
quick slant. Jalen Smith wrestled down at the 35. Well, Jackson now is beyond 100 yards in passing. He only needed 68 tonight to get to 8th place all time on the Louisville passing list, and guess who he passed? That man right there, Jeff Brom. He told us laughingly in our conversation he just hoped it didn't happen on one play.
He's not worried about those offensive numbers. He's worried about T.J. Jalo missing that tackle on that play.
Jackson ad-libbing again, and he'll take himself out. Easy Chukwu was over there to make sure that he stepped out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Well, when he releases to the wide side of the field and expends all of that energy and guys are running and chasing after him, you just hold your breath, because somebody's not going to understand exactly where they are in relationship to that boundary. And they're going to put it on him, and you just fear for the quarterback. He means so much of this team.
Jeremy Smith is checked back into the game. Smith goes flanked to the bottom of your screen. Quick look in again. It's the tight end, Mickey Crum. Penalty flag down. Back behind the line of scrimmage, where you'd think holding. We'll see.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty will be tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
Or you would think that. Eddie Wilson, youngster from Pontiac, Michigan.
You can see the front is there. You can't get to the quarterback, so get your hands up. I think the bigger issue here is not being able to find enough coverage underneath to deal with the inside game between the hashes. Every time they've gone to the tight ends, it has been for big yardage. So now with Jackson, you can put pressure on the perimeter. You've done it on the outside with your first and second down attempts. Now you got the inside hashes game. So now you set them up and put stress on the entire breadth and width of the field. This is exactly what Bobby Petrino likes. He's aggressive on first down.
Right on cue, going long and incomplete. A lot of jousting there between DeJuan Hunt and Seth Dawkins. But you can do that in the college game. A lot of fans have issues with the way the game is governed at the collegiate level in pass interference, what constitutes either offensive or defensive interference. But as long as they're consistent, the jousting is allowed. Jeremy Smith remains in the backfield. It's second down and 10.
This is the 12th man playing the game. The offensive coordinators making the decision, relaying the play to number 8. They see an opportunity to exploit a part of the field.
Jackson keeps it. Puts his head down, has the first down. At the 15, Jallo again with the tackle, a pickup of 15 yards.
Well, it isn't rocket science. You know, you're looking at that safety in the middle of the field. That's the guy that you're reading. If he's on that hash or inside, you pull that ball out of the pocket, he's got to run a long way to defend you. Everybody's manned up on the outside. Excellent decision by Lamar Jackson to get big yardage by reading the safety properly.
A lot of open spaces here. He does burrow down at the 10, a gain of about 5. Jawan Bentley, number 4, making the tackle. Going to rely a lot on him and the rest of those linebackers. Jackson now with 9 carries, 45 yards. Second and 6. Travion Samuel, number 1, has come in. He's in the slot.
I like this one up top, Tim, to the short side of the field. They're going to go
Smith right in the middle. They've used the tight end a bit as we wind down towards the end of the first quarter. This is a very big sequence for Purdue in the red zone to try to limit Louisville and hold them to 3.
And it's also a huge opportunity for the Cardinals. Now they know they've got the ability to stress all parts of the field. And for most quarterbacks, the playbook actually shrinks down here. But with number 8 in the game, it actually expands. That's what you get out of a true dual threat quarterback, and he's an elite one.
We've come to the end of one. Indianapolis, really the midway point for both West Lafayette and Louisville. And the congregation has been entertained early. We are tied through 1 here on Fox. Huge play coming up as we open the second quarter. Louisville, a couple of yards away from a first down. The ball just inside the Boilermaker 8. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders with you here on Fox. We'll call it third down and a short 3. Jeremy Smith, number 34, is in the backfield with an extra tight end. Jackson will keep it, run power. Purdue stopped him. A yard shy, Jalen Robinson, number 13, got his head in there.
Well, did he ever? Jalen Robinson plays that zero technique exactly like you should play it. He's responsible for 2 gaps. You see him, despite the fact that you go the opposite direction, he comes and fills that void. And number 13 is a load in the middle of that at 6'1", 283. The physics work for him. He keeps himself low to the ground. I'm telling you, he's a plugger big time.
Cricky, third in the ACC in field goal percentage a year ago at 84%. The left-footed kicker, slide angle left, 23 yards. He gets it through. A win, though, for the Boilermaker defense to hold them to 3. Lamar Jackson and company with the 3-point edge. Some entertainment coming back. Stay where you are. Fox College Football is sponsored by Ford. Going forward further so you can. And by Walmart. Save money, live better. Yes, quarterback you indeed. Lenny Dawson, 1956, before he went on to win a Super Bowl with Strand. So many others, too. We'll enlighten you a bit more in just a moment. Getting ready for this kick by Cricky for Louisville after the field goal of 23 yards. Boilermakers have the one long touchdown. Markel Jones is back deep. It's out. Wow. And it appears to be recovered by Louisville. We'll wait for the scrum. They got it.
Tim, we've seen at least 5 occasions today in other games how special teams have been so critical. Balls turned over on those critical plays. Absolutely inexcusable down here to turn it over. It's tough.
Stacey Thomas comes away with it. And the Cardinals are in business again, so a real tough break here. First big turnover committed by Purdue. Louisville gave up 1 in their opening series when they got it to the 1, and Easy Chukwu came away with that fumble recovery. Looks like we've got a timeout. Well, I hope this isn't ominous for you, but Drew Brees, one of the members of that great cradle of quarterbacks, is here. His wife Brittany. I know it means a lot to you to come back to Purdue and see what Coach Blough is doing. Forget that turnover, all right?
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
I know. Could you see me cringe as I saw that ball go flying out?
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing we need to happen right now. We had some good momentum, but it's great to come back. Obviously, we're all excited about Coach Blough taking over the program and just the opportunity there. I think it's really going to be a new era of Purdue football. We're doing some amazing things with our facilities there back at Purdue. We've got a great president, Mitch Daniels. So we're excited about the future of Purdue football, and I think it starts tonight here against Louisville.
Drew, what about the difference in a great offensive mind like Jeff Brom? The difference it can make for a quarterback. You were able to bring New Orleans a championship in 2009, in large part because of the creativity, for your skill first of all, but also to have great offensive minds working with you.
Yeah, listen, I've been blessed to play with a lot of great coaches and in some great systems, and I'm excited about the offense that Coach Blough is bringing to this program now. I've had a lot of respect for him and what he was able to accomplish at Western Kentucky, and I think that we give him the opportunity to get a couple of recruiting classes under his belt and develop some of these young players. I think that, again, our future is bright.
This is the 3rd time that we've had a false start.
Offense, and number 74.
When you've got a freshman center, and Louisville does, that can cause problems for you, even if you're a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, especially with that up-tempo offense. Obviously, Louisville never huddles. They're always at the ball. There's got to be a lot of communication between quarterback, offensive line, receivers. You can see they're looking to the sideline quite often, but at the end of the day, especially with this clap cadence too, that's got to be a very quick reaction by the center and something that has to be second nature.
This is where he's at his best. Jackson inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Give me your overall take on Lamar Jackson.
You know, this is obviously my first time to see him play in person, and I didn't see much last year other than just highlights, and the highlights look phenomenal. Obviously, he was the Heisman Trophy winner, well-deserved. But I had a chance to actually watch him in an interview this weekend because knowing I was going to come and get a chance to see him, I wanted to watch him in an interview and felt like he's very poised. Seems like he's mature beyond his years. Obviously, he's got great command of this offense and plays with a ton of confidence.
On second down, it's power again with Jackson inside the 10 to the 9. Stopped by Bentley.
I think what we're noticing too is he's really a lot tougher runner than I assumed. You know, he lowers his shoulder on just about every defender that he comes in contact with, which.
And that's kind of a mixed blessing, though, man. You're running inside like that. He's put on 13 pounds, but you still don't want your quarterback exposed to that many hits.
I remember when number 9 used to deliver a blow.
Yeah,
well,
but you know who's.
I think I was 15 pounds heavier back then, too.
10 of 13, 130. And it's third down again. Big play for the Boilermaker defense after the turnover. Jackson's pass is caught. Burrowing near the goal line and in. They're going to give him touchdown. Jalen Smith.
Well, they like that play down there. Remember at the top of the show, we talked about varying looks. I think earlier in the field, there was some zone blitz looks where they actually dropped the interior lineman in that short zone. Would have been an excellent call on that particular play right there because they love that underneath.
Touchdown. The previous play is under review.
I don't know. I don't know that the seat of his pants actually got down. There was the appearance that it might have. Take a look again here. Might put Mike Pereira to work. Looks like there he might have been down. We've got both Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino working overtime. We've doubled up with our officiating analysts. And we're happy that Dean Blandino is with us. In fact, he will be with us in West Lafayette this coming Friday night. The former head of the NFL officiating.
I was about to say, you guys stole 2 of our best right there.
So give me your thoughts, fellas, on this review. Will they put it back at the 1?
Drew, we're happy we moved on. That's all I want to say.
Can I get a favorable?
He's an expert. He's an expert on gluteus maximus.
Yeah.
So you know.
Can I get a favorable call for my Boilermakers here? I need a favorable call for my Boilermakers.
The backside was down, and the ball is short.
All right. So
hey, Drew, just to tell you, Drew, by the way, Blandino, he's going to the Purdue game next week. He's going to be on site with Tim and those
After
guys,
review,
that whole crew.
the ball
so.
carrier was down with the ball at the 1-yard line.
There we go.
we'll make sure that we'll make sure, Mike and Dean, that your reservation is okay. You're 1 for 1 with us.
That's right.
So he stopped, and it's first down for Louisville. They did not get the touchdown, but did get the first down.
See if they get this snap off quick.
You don't mind hanging with us when Purdue's got the ball, do you?
Yeah, I can
Just
hang
one
for a
series?
little bit.
Okay, good. Smith is in the backfield. And we've got, again, premature movement.
Offense, number 80, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another problem, this time Stanberry, the tight end, number 80, moving too soon. There
you
he
can
is.
see Charles just got to hold your water a little bit. He's down on the end man on the line of scrimmage. If he just waits till everybody else moves, he's going to be in a good position. Can't cost your team so close to the promised land.
Well, you don't think about it necessarily at the time when the ball is reset at the 1, but back at the 6-yard line, it's a different playbook. Louisville, 7 penalties, 45 yards already for Petrino's team. You know, they were -7 as a team last year in turnover ratio. Still managed to have a 9-win season. Smith stopped at the point of attack. These inside guys, Drew, Jawan Bentley especially, number 4, the middle linebacker, very active.
Yeah, he's been a leader in the middle here for a while as a senior. I've seen him play a lot of football. He's really played at a high level. He's a force to be reckoned with inside.
You can see him along with Marcus Bailey there, number 21 as well. And that tandem really stout in the inside.
I think that's the strength of our defense.
Yep.
Great leadership there.
Yep.
On 2nd and goal, Smith, Jeremy Smith stopped at the 1. It'll be 3rd down again.
I'm telling you, they're anchoring in that middle, as you said, Drew. Juwan Bentley, Marcus Bailey and company.
This is a big play right here.
Yeah, it is.
If we can sneak away with just giving up a field goal, that would be significant.
From the 1, Jackson will go under center, it appears. Straight eye with Smith dotting the eye. He takes it. Stopped. Nothing doing. Ball is loose again. The Boilers have it at the 20. Marcus Bailey, number 21. Well, grand larceny at the 1 for Purdue. Twice tonight it's happened.
And it was a total team effort. Bailey gets credit for knocking it out. But I think ultimately, as Drew said, this is going to be huge emotionally for this team to stop this prolific offense sitting on the doorstep. You can see all the bodies around the line of scrimmage. It's so tough to get positive yardage down here. Clearly the ball is out. The presence of mind to scoop it up and head the other direction. The Boilermakers in business now.
The Boilermakers already lead the nation in fumbles recovered inside the 5.
Well, they have 2 here in about a quarter and a half. So.
And it's David Blough that will get the call. The veteran will get in there from Carrollton, Texas, just north of Dallas, near Denton, where the Mean Green of North Texas play. This is a youngster I know you know well, Drew, and we'll get your thoughts on him in just a moment. He's had a shoulder problem from an injury, non-contact, and they go with a little gimmickry early. He floats it deep towards the corner. Flags are down. They may get an interference. It was for Mahungu, 21, the intended receiver.
Love the aggressive play calling on the early down, kind of like Bobby Petrino. Loves to take a shot, but backed up. I wouldn't have expected that, but Jeff Brom knows what he's doing.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Drew, you concerned about that safety over the top, though? That ball had a lot of air underneath it. It was there, but that safety was closing hard on it, too.
Yeah, it did. He seemed to put it in a position where, high and outside. Looked like it hit our guy in the chest, but obviously it's out of bounds.
They got past number 30 with the interference. First and 10 from the 35. 8 penalties for 60 yards now against the Cardinals. Quick curl, and it's caught by Mahungu. I know you got a chance to see him in the Manning Passing Academy. He was there. He told us that both you and Peyton Manning texted him on the same day. He was pretty happy about that. Tell us about this young guy.
Well, actually, I met David through Trent Dilfer when he went out for the Elite 11 coming out of high school, and that's where I first heard about him. Trent loved him, and I think very highly of Trent Dilfer in his opinion. So I reached out to him at that moment, and he became a Purdue Boilermaker quarterback, and we've stayed in touch ever since. I've had the chance to be around him quite a few times, and I think a lot of that young man.
Well, you went to Westlake in Austin, and he's from Carrollton. What is it with Texas and quarterbacks to Purdue?
I don't know, but I'd say it's a good thing. There's a lot of talent down there. There's plenty to go around. So I know there was 0 Texas players on the Purdue football team when I first got there in 1997. Joe Tiller came down and I think grabbed 5 of us in his first recruiting class, and by the time I left, we had 20.
On 1st and 10, this pass is thrown. Looked to be caught. Jeff Brom told us that one of David's issues, if he has any, is sometimes he overthinks that old paralysis of analysis. When you want to be perfect, sometimes that happens. And boy, he does so much. He goes on missions. He really helps. He spoke at the Big Ten luncheon, the keynote speaker for all of the student athletes. But you understand where Coach Brom's coming from.
Yeah. Listen, he's a tremendous young man. He's an extremely hard worker. He's very conscientious. He wants to be a great player, and he's willing to work for it.
A quick curl again is caught for a 1st down.
I think for the quarterback position, we call that over-processing. Sometimes you over-process, and at times, in fact, in most cases, you just keep it simple, turn the ball loose, get it out quick. Completions are good. Keep moving the chains.
Gregory Phillips was on the receiving end, and in this drive, he's looking like Vinny Sutherland looked for you back in the day.
Yeah, I know. I saw Vinny before the game here tonight. We got a lot of my former teammates here tonight supporting the team.
DJ Knox has checked into the game. He's got that quick twitch about him, and there he goes. Bouncing off would-be tacklers. Inside the 35 to the 34. Junior from Fairburn, Georgia, missed the entire 2016 season with a torn ACL.
Nice job of keeping your feet going and bounce it. Nothing inside. The presence of mind, the back out of that thing, got that ball seated properly. And the good thing about that run, it looks nondescript, but he got vertical after the initial contact. We talk about yards after contact. That's a good, solid run there to move the chains.
2nd down and 4. Looks like we've got a timeout.
Timeout. Purdue. Their first timeout of the half.
Well, it wasn't so ominous after all when you stopped in. That turnover by Purdue, not so bad after all.
Hopefully there's more of that coming. Now we just need to turn it into some points.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, Lenny Dawson, we mentioned it started at 54 to 56, set all kinds of records. Then came Bob Greasy, a decade later, 2-time All-American, followed by Jim Everett, 81 to 85, led the NCAA in total offense, 6th in the Heisman. And yeah, Drew Brees to Vinny Sutherland, 97 to 2000. Kyle Orton of Purdue, 2001 to 04. Only quarterback to start in 4 bowl games. Led him in Big Ten passing while he was here during the Joe Tiller era.
So bottom line is, if you're a high school quarterback getting recruited by Purdue, why would you not want to come to Purdue University? Get a great education, sling the ball around, and be a member of the cradle of quarterbacks.
Well, you have no obligation to be impartial. And again, speaking of that, we talked about your affinity for the institution, and then as we look at your boys, they're just great, passionate, good-looking group there, man. You got your nice little team working.
That's right.
Big play here, 3rd down. Out of the shotgun. Blough steps up, and it's dropped. And it would have been for 1st down. Hopkins had it and started running a little too soon. 4th down coming up. You know, Drew, I know you were going somewhere, Spencer, with regard to Texas and what Drew has done.
Yeah, just the whole idea of the foundation, your passion coming out, creating that foundation that allows, that endowment that allows players to come back. Unpack that a little bit and tell us more.
Well, sure. That was through the university. We created an endowment that basically donors, former players like myself, would put money towards the endowment that would, in essence, fund all the scholarships for the Purdue football team. And ours specifically was towards a Texas player, which David Blough being one of our Texas guys, and a few others.
Dellinger's field goal try of 53 is blocked. Remember, it can be advanced. Alexander came up with it and is tripped up, lost the ball, but it is recovered by Louisville at the 20-yard line. Well, a lot of activity without a lot of point production, but we really enjoyed it. Many thanks, Drew.
Thank you, guys.
Drew, thanks, Drew.
Have a great season with the Saints, and give our best to Sean and everyone.
I will. Thank you.
Drew Brees. We'll be right back. Jair Alexander being taken to the sidelines, and he injured himself upon trying to return that blocked field goal. And take a look at it right here, Spence.
You can see here up on impact, you can see that ankle just right there, guys. And sometimes when you get a high ankle sprain, there's a shot, and look at it inside and tight. It does affect your knee. The high ankle sprain is one of the most, and we're not speculating here, but again, the fact that they were working on his knee should not be a surprise. That ankle turned, but it can affect the knee.
He's one of their best defenders. That pass is caught by Seth Dawkins. Up to the 28-yard line. They'll move really quickly right now. 6:40 remaining in this half. Louisville has been stymied at the 1-yard line with turnovers on 2 separate occasions. Once in the first quarter, again in the second, after being stopped, stoned at the point of attack on a 4th down play. Purdue moved it well with Blough, but the dropped pass ended that threat after the blocked field goal attempt. Quick look in, incomplete. And looking for Jalen Smith Very physical Josh Okoye there, number 8, doing all he could. Smith begging for a flag, but he wouldn't get it.
Tim, you know you have to stay in the present when you play this game. As you look at the release, nice job. That slant route was there open for him if the ball is placed on target. I think he's got a shot to complete that.
Yeah.
We're in an offensive mindset right now, but I'm telling you, Alexander's loss is big.
No question. No question. Pass is caught by Dawkins again. Yep. Purdue's defense is playing well. No question about that. They've been very, very active, and Holly Saunders has more on that for us.
Yeah, Tim, you're exactly right. Defensive coordinator Nick Holt has been absolutely electric on the sidelines. He is fired up. He is keeping his guys fired up. And after those last 2 huge stops, the defensive players came off the field yelling, "That's a win. That's a win," Tim.
No question about it, Holly. They have been aggressive, just as Houston was a year ago. Jackson now 14 of 18 for 155. He loops this one down the sidelines for Smith, going back shoulder, incomplete. That's outstanding defense. Nick Holt, the very active defensive coordinator, who's down on the sidelines, really energizes his guys.
Josh Okoye in coverage there did an excellent job of pushing it to the perimeter and the boundary there. Great coverage in a man scheme. He's on an island, and he paid it off big time.
By the way, talking about the loss of Alexander, consider this. Second in the ACC in interceptions last year with 5. Second team All-ACC on defense. Twice he had 2 interceptions in games, in 2 separate games. And the boot is out. Anthrop is deep. Takes it at the 20. And he's up to the 23. 46-yard boot and a 3-yard return. Louisville has lost their best defender, but they lead by 3.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, second straight year Bama opens at number 1. Can FSU kick them out of the spot? Michigan flipped the script on the Gators in the second half, and could USC come back from a second half deficit against Western Michigan? Tim Spencer, back to you guys.
Stoner resplendent in his 3-piece attire on this opening day and night of college football.
It looked good.
Yeah,
Dapper,
he did.
didn't he?
DJ Knox is in the backfield. Blough remains in at quarterback. It was Sindelard that did start. Boilermakers trail by 3. Blough trying to step up. A lot of pressure coming off the edge. He manages to get back to the 20, but that's a sack, a loss of 2. Trayvon Young, number 91, will get credit for it.
Yeah, Trayvon just so quick. As you look at the quarterback numbers here, these are the options that Jeff Brom has to work with. 3 for 8 for Sindelar, 3 of 4 for Blough. No interceptions.
Amazing thing about this game is time of possession. Purdue wanted to keep the ball away from Lamar Jackson. They haven't, but he hasn't scored. Mahungu makes that reception just shy of the 30 in front of Jermaine Washington, number 15.
That's a big-time throw there now to the field with a lot of water versus man coverage. Anything can happen, no defense. You can see his eyes. It's a 2-deep safety type look with outside man coverage. But the fact that the ball is being thrown to the wide side of the field, there is no defense behind it. The 15 kicks it, goes the other direction, he hits his head on the goalpost.
3rd down and 2. Oh, a nice keeper. And Blough with a bit of a deke that time. It looked as though he was going to hand off, or at least a little bit of a deke, to freeze the middle of the Louisville interior, and then he took it really on a called sneak or quarterback draw.
Anthrop was coming the opposite direction, almost like a jet sweep type concept behind the quarterback. He alluded to it, faked it to him, then took him himself.
Smart play.
Nice.
Little middle screen to the wide receiver Anthrop. And this young man has been really, really good tonight. The redshirt freshman from Central Catholic at West Lafayette.
Yeah, I was talking to him before the game, and he was playing catch with tennis balls as opposed to footballs, working with one-handed catches. He focuses. He's got those high pockets. He really looks good in his uniform, and he's obviously playing up to that standard as well.
From the 44, 1st down, Purdue. Fakes to Knox. Quick down, caught by Zico. You know, the short quick stuff is what you're going to see from Blough. Sindelar, more of that vertical passing game seems to be the direction Jeff Brohm wants to go when he makes the change from one quarterback to the other.
And he's also trying to find where the man matchups are and trying to exploit that. No matter what side of the field it's on, that's the matchup when he wants to throw that he's looking for.
2nd and 1. Knox. DJ has a first down. He's to the 35.
We talked about DJ Knox and Markel Jones, the inside running game, trying to extend this play. You can see the pop inside. He shows great vision. The ability to get vertical up in there like smoke through a keyhole.
Little
Timmy.
Spencer T in 84, circa OU style.
Love that inside run game.
First down. Blough with plenty of time. Anthrop again. Another first down. He's got it at the 19.
I'll tell you, he's a baller, man. He's got the ability to catch the ball seated. They can work him in the slot. You can put him on the edge if you want to. He's sure-handed. That's the thing he does to pay off every route. Look at him go high point that ball and snatch it out of the air and claim it as it is own.
Is it obvious they missed Jair Alexander right now?
Big time.
Louisville without their best defender. And now a methodical drive with the veteran Blough leading the way. Rolls out of the pocket, comes back underneath to the tight end, Herdman. That's their best position right now in terms of talent for Brohm. The tight end position. Cole Herdman, Bryce Hopkins, who dropped one a bit earlier. This one reeled in by number 88.
Almost like a throwback. Herdman is there underneath, going the opposite direction from the flow, taking advantage of the speed on this Cardinal defense. Played it like a fiddle for a big-time play.
1st and goal from the 8. Knox remains in the backfield.
Well, if he dares throws the slant here, it's going to be
Mahongu and Anthrop now in motion. It's Knox. Really good fake action on that jet sweep move with Anthrop. Fooled and throws Louisville's linebackers for a moment.
Well, they better account for Anthrop, because this guy right here, you're looking at Jeff Brohm, is one of the most creative players, and he sees that Anthrop on that last swing pattern was uncovered.
Richie Worship, 34, has just checked into the game. Better know where 33 is, though.
Yeah, you better watch him, because the switch route is in play. They can find it if he can get the ball to him.
It's Worship. Nothing doing. Great penetration that time from Louisville. Grenard, 58, got through there, the sophomore, along with pass number 30. 59 yards for Purdue offensively before this drive. And Spencer, this drive's gone for over 70 yards.
This is a big-time drive for them.
Timeout. Louisville, their 2nd timeout of the half. Please reset the game.
Cardinals need a break. Purdue on the doorstep of the lead. This big kid, Richie Worship, was described by Jeff Brohm to us the other day in West Lafayette as the tank of the group. And he said, look, we're going to use all 5 of our guys. They are all different. They bring a little something extra to the table. But what does it tell you about a guy with that build that they flood the zone to isolate for a pass out of the backfield?
Yeah, he's 6. His hands are great. He's 6'1".
Clock to 25 seconds.
He's 6'1", 242 pounds.
Please
and again,
reset the play clock to 25 seconds and start on my
that was a picturesque drive by the play caller, Brohm. I mean, that was just... Now, understand that Alexander, the best defender's out, and that changed some of Louisville's coverage.
if you look at the numbers, besides Alexander, they are smallish at those corner positions. Most teams do have smaller corners. But when you get a 6'1", 242-pound guy on the edge that can catch, unless it's a linebacker, that's going to be a mismatch.
And that boot, a dandy by Spencer Evans, will not be returned. I don't see how the Cardinals maneuver here. I think a lot of people thought that more scoring would take place, and it would have were it not for the turnovers. Louisville at the 1-yard line on 2 separate occasions, and that's the difference in the game right now.
It really is the difference in the game. And again, the longer it goes on with Purdue staying in this mix, remember now, the Cardinals were 2 touchdown favorites coming into this contest at one point. Now Purdue hangs in there in this neutral site game. There's no reason for them not to believe they've got a shot at winning.
Jair Alexander is back on the field. They had taken him to the locker room, but he is back. And here's Jackson. Long and over the middle. A beautiful pass and catch. Jalen Smith has it at the 46-yard line.
Well, I'm telling you, that ball was low and inside, and Smith went down and plucked that ball up with his hands. Jackson put it right on the mark, in stride. That's a catch worthy of circus action there, man. That's big time.
Typical first down Bobby Petrino call.
No question. He wants it back in a hurry.
Right between the hashes. They love going there. This one a quick out route to the boundary, and it's Travion Samuel. His first catch of the evening inside the 35 to the 34. Well, they'll actually spot it right on the 35. Time a factor with only 22 seconds left.
The one thing that's a hallmark of this offense, they will spread the wealth around, so it doesn't matter who it is. You won't see one guy with, besides Smith, with prolific numbers. They'll go through all of the receivers.
They do have a couple of timeouts. Trouble. Lots of trouble. Incomplete. Out of bounds. Intended for Crum. Well, Lamar Jackson, the more yards he backs up with pressure, the worse your defensive coordinator must feel.
Yeah, but I can tell you what, though, Timmy, you're right about that. Nick Holt, though, the co-defensive coordinator, along with Anthony Poindexter, are doing a tremendous job with their scheme up front and flushing him out of the pocket, but yet containing him so as to allow him to release into the short side of the field with less space to navigate.
Jackson with plenty of time. Crossing route incomplete. Smith could not hang on, but he had to hear footsteps, lots of them.
You got to take your high heels off when you go over the middle, man. That ball's going to be coming there, hit him right in the hands. You saw Bentley come right across in front of him.
Marcus Bailey was right in his track, 21.
And Bailey has been so active all night long. They've moved him around in that middle linebacker position, but he's also been in man coverage.
3rd and 10. Jackson caught down at the 15 by Samuel. They'll need to get and won't be able to get to the break. Ran out of time. Bobby Petrino frustrated, but the Boilermaker fans are enjoying it, and why not? Halftime will get you now to Los Angeles. Rob Stone for the State Farm halftime show. Take it away, Rob. A look at our Jeep stat comparison. And I think the numbers that really jump out at me is time of possession more than anything else. That's what Purdue wanted to do, Spencer, is keep the ball away from Louisville. They really didn't, but Louisville turned it over at critical times, and then the Jair Alexander injury really affected that drive.
That's a great take there. I think typically time of possession is something they don't think about, but this is a bigger blow here. When Alexander went down with this particular injury, that put a wrench in this back half. I watched 2 games where he had interception in 2 separate games last year. That opened the door for Blough to take advantage of that. In this sequence, he throws to slot receiver, outside receiver, the tight end there, and then he goes to his back eventually. You talk about painting the field, literally, from sideline to sideline. That's the expertise of a play caller in Jeff Brom, and the ability to run it with his quarterback, who came into this contest injured. He looked fine on that series.
A lot of dinking and dunking to get the lead with the help of the 2 turnovers at the 1-yard line by Louisville. Kieron Catlett is going to bring it out, and he should have fought better with it. And let's go down to Holly Saunders, who's got more on what transpired with both teams.
Yeah, Tim, just had a chance to talk to both coaches at halftime, and Jeff Brom said that, yeah, they got lucky with some turnovers, but the effort was there. That is what he has been preaching and what he's been saying and wants to say the entire season. He said, you have to compete till the end. He wants them to stop looking at the scoreboard, just compete to the end and finish this off. I also asked Coach Petrino how he plans to limit the turnovers and limit the mistakes that they're making. He said that center Robbie Bell has to settle down and recognize the cadence, guys.
Well, that was a key coming into this game, Holly, no doubt about it. And the freshman is getting some indoctrination tonight. Boilermakers start from their front porch at the 11-yard line, and it's Tario Fuller on the quick pitch And is beyond the 15-yard line to the 16. James Hearns, number 99, 6'3", 248.
Timmy, to pay off Holly's comment, that's Mike Sommer's responsibility, the co-offensive coordinator. Remember, he talked about his special relationship with the centers. One of the reasons why they put him in there is because he does have an ability to make those decisions, or at least showed it. But he did acknowledge the fact that he doesn't know how he's going to play when the real bullets start flying. We've seen so far.
Kirk Barron is the center, the junior from Michigan. Walkout for Purdue. That one was nearly picked off by Trumaine Washington. Zico, the intended receiver, but he had his eyes on Pater.
Yeah, Trumaine Washington in man coverage, camped inside. Probably could have had his eyes out of there a little bit faster. He would have been able to walk to the end zone. But for that, but good soft coverage, playing what they call a catch technique. A little cushion between himself. That gives him a chance to peek back inside. When that quarterback settles, he can squat on that ball and drive on it and pay it off next time.
Empty backfield. 5 receivers for Blough. 3rd down and 6. Pressure off the edge and up the middle. And he's spun down. Tremendous work off the edge. And it was Grenard 58 that was the first to get there.
And that pressure came up the middle. You can see the directions called there. It's called a starboard or port side charge. When you go to the port side, it's to the right. The starboard to the other side. Star is to the right. Port is to the left side. And that charge is what caused them confusion in the inside of that front. Got in there and got pressure on the quarterback.
Something to remember. A lot of teams that were big underdogs in this opening week got out to great starts, only to be blown out in the second half. Happened to Utah State with Wisconsin. Happened to Indiana just down the road in Bloomington against Ohio State. We'll see how Purdue, the underdog, holds up in the second half. This boot from Shopper bounces, and it's taken by Bonifay. Plenty of room. Boy, a saving tackle there. And it was handled by Shopper, the punter. Otherwise, that's a touchdown.
Well, the first guy down has got to make the catch. Mikowski, Ben, he's got to square up and settle on him. Probably needs to be on the outside shoulder. In other words, he knows he has help inside. His helmet has got to be shaded to the outside to funnel a gifted return man back the opposite direction. That's a mismatch there in space with the guy who's snapping the ball.
Mikowski, was the long snapper for that. He juked him, and then were it not for Shopper ducking in, he set sail for a touchdown. Malik Williams is in the backfield. Jackson hangs on to it.
Great job of collapsing in the interior of that line. Jackson has to this point been getting plus yardage between those guard and tackle spots, but not on that play. Stiffening as this Boilermaker front.
I should have also mentioned Washington was in peril at halftime as well. And that game with Rutgers that Gus and Joe had the other night. They'll be busy again tomorrow with Texas A&M and UCLA. Jackson again. He's down to the 15. This Boilermaker defense has stood tall, though, especially in the red zone.
Well, the inside running game was where they really shine. Lamar Jackson's going to get his yards, but they sure made it tough sledding for him. The ground game that we thought was going to be more successful certainly had its tough sledding as well. They tried to press the edges, but again, this defense was game.
On 3rd and short, Jackson's pass is too low. Outstanding defense again. The pass intended for Jalen Smith. DeJuan Hunt, young man from Miami Central High, was there to break it up.
Now Hunt's profiling, but he also had pressure up front. That pressure allowed that hand to get in the face. Gielan Robinson and company got their hands in Jackson's face and then actually got a paw on him that redirected that ball.
Gielan Robinson, the senior from Schererville, Indiana. He's played big, as has Neil Bentley, Eddie Wilson, and Easy Chukwu had that big fumble recovery. 32-yard attempt here for Blanton Creaky to make it a one-point game. Once again, the Boilermakers defense does the job in the red zone area. Jeff Brom's club up by 1. They'll have it when we return. You'll have to settle for 3 this time. Fox College Football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you, and by the all-new 2017 Jeep Compass. Look from above to Lucas Oil Stadium and take a look at this, Spencer. Last time they led at half against a Power 5 team, you got to go back to 2008 against Oregon, eventually losing the game in double overtime.
I like those kind of inflection point statistics like that because you can coach with those numbers.
Yeah.
When you start doing stuff you've never done before, that's called progress. And the numbers in this case certainly do not lie.
By the way, the coordinator down there talking with one of the offensive coordinators, Lonnie Galloway, works with the receivers talking with Lamar Jackson. You see the kick to Catlett again. This time he, a little wiser choice, decides to take a knee. Blough about to take the field yet again. Well, next Saturday it's college football doubleheader on Fox. First, Nebraska looks to flex their Big Ten muscle. They take on Oregon at 4 Eastern. Then number 14 Stanford battles Heisman Trophy hopeful Sam Darnold and USC. They struggled with Western Michigan today. It's college football next Saturday at 4 Eastern on Fox. We don't get caught looking ahead in the college game today.
You know, the game is forgiving to this extent. You get one mulligan.
Yeah.
If you're a great team, but if you're not, boy, it's tough to climb back in.
Nebraska struggling with Arkansas State as well. At home in Lincoln. There's Ryan Langford Johnson, number 37. We said we'd see 5 of them. His first tote of the night. Youngster from Lanier High School in Sugar Hill, Georgia. Stop behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Stacey Thompson's in there as well. He got so fast. He jumped that gap and ran inside and cut off the path to the edge. It's great defense.
Langford Johnson remains in the game. Ryan Langford Johnson, 37. Little pump fake and a beauty. Nice. And on the run out of drop. Boy, Gregory Phillips had that one right in the breadbasket. That might have been touchdown. Tremaine Washington was with him.
Play on the other end is the guy that's praying about it. Number 15, he gets beat. Washington on the back end of this one just ran right by him, and Phillips let the ball drop right through his hand. Hit him right on the shoulder pad. You know, that's the reason why they want you to go high point the ball and pluck it out of the air.
How about that veteran move by Blough?
Yeah, tell him to calm down. It's going to be all right.
It's the kind of leadership you need if you're going to win in the Big Ten.
Delayed blitz.
3rd and 11. It's caught. It's the tight end. It's short of the first down by about 2 yards. Bryson Hopkins, who also had a big drop on a 3rd down conversion opportunity. But listen, I think the longer this game goes and the Boilermakers hang, the more they grow in confidence.
And I'm impressed with David Blough being able to handle that pressure and that blitz. It came. It was a delayed blitz from the far side. His eyes were upfield looking for an upward receiver, and the pressure came. He stood in the pocket tall and delivered it.
Bonifant again is back deep. Almost took it to the house last time.
He's got a lot of field to work with now. This is where you got to be really careful. Directional kick, make him work for it instead of putting it in the middle of the field.
Yeah, this is it is a fair catch and really a lot of hang time. That one from Shopper. 43-yard boot. College football is here. How long we waited. And the Boilermakers putting on quite a show in this opportunity game against Bobby Petrino's Cardinals. (14-13) our score. There is Nick Holt, who you believe has really called an excellent game as the defensive coordinator for Purdue. He gets a lot of help in that perimeter from Anthony Poindexter, but they have been giving a lot of pressure to Lamar Jackson and have had him on his heels much of the night when trying to throw it.
That's right, and it's been disciplined pressure. I think Wani talked about it in the studio. It's not been this wild jetting upfield. It's been under control.
Yeah, there's Bonifant again. He's been the go-to guy in this offense, whether he's lining up in the backfield or in wideout. Jacob Thieneman, 41, from Noblesville, Indiana, with the tackle.
One thing I like about Nick's game as a defensive coordinator, he plays and coaches with passion. Those players play with passion because he's dialed in. They want to see it. I mean, it's infectious. When they see a coach that's bought into his own system, they will play for you.
Quick turn in on the slant. It's Jalen Smith. Ball loose. Purdue's got it at the 40. Thieneman with the recovery. Well, he's got the gold chain working and everything, doesn't he?
He's dialed in. Staying alive, baby. That's when you can say we create turnovers. That's how you do it.
Great
Keep
tackle.
yourself in the game. Great tackle. The ball punches out. It's rare that you would see him do that. Bentley there with the pop. And you can see Nick loves it. Got to take the glasses off and think about that a little bit. He's digging that, man.
Turnovers have been just killing Louisville tonight. That's 3 of them. The Boilers, of course, with 1 themselves. But where those turnovers happen have a lot to do with the outcome of any game, and particularly in week 1. From the 40, DJ Knox is in the backfield. It's Blough at quarterback. Knox ahead for about a yard, and that is it. Drew Bailey, number 14, senior from Jacksonville by way of Pearl River Community College. Really disruptive 3-technique guy. Knox remains in the backfield. 3 wide receivers set to the bottom of your screen. And it's the tight end again. Herdman inside the 20, down to the 19.
Beautiful play called by Jeff Blough. Worked the inside game, content to run it first and then come back. The ball was placed right where it needed to be.
Wow.
Right in his hands. He made the adjustment on the back hit. Got upfield, got the additional yards. A strike right between the hashes. Against the cover 2 coverage, that's where it's going to be all night long. There's another one.
Blough again over the middle. The tight end is there. Cole Herdman, the favorite target. In 2016, he had 35 catches, 3 touchdowns, and Brom said when he looked at the tape, they didn't get it to him enough.
As long as they stay in this cover 2 look down here with 2 safeties on the hash, the weakest part of the field is between the hashes. And he's just going to find that soft spot and settle right there for plus yards.
So much of the problem for Louisville is not having Alexander out there. Little shovel pass. It's Knox. He's down to the 1. I mean, the style of this offense now is perfect for Blough with Alexander out of the game for Louisville.
The beautiful thing about it is Jeff Blough is using surgery with the skill set that he has. He doesn't have elite talent, but he has scheme. He has a consistent quarterback that has not been throwing interceptions. Remember, he just had 3 more touchdown passes than he did interceptions last year. He's been quite judicious with the football.
2nd and goal out of the eye. Play
Nice.
fake, naked, and touchdown. Hopkins.
Play action away. Again, the slam and then the comeback out. That's a nice job. Play action brought everyone into it. Again, the speed and the quickness up front for Louisville, betraying them on that pass, on that play. Outstanding play, outstanding execution.
Earlier today on the Fox family of networks, there was a "Are you watching this game?" moment with Maryland. Now, are you watching this game moment? It's Purdue, the Big Ten on Fox. Fox College Football is sponsored by Domino's. Order online and track your order. And by Ally. Do it right. The college football fan. The passion. It's difficult. I know you weren't expecting this, but it's got to be a little longer 3rd and 4th quarter if you're going to get out of here with a win. A prohibitive favorite by more than 3 touchdowns, depending upon where in southern Nevada you decide to look. But the Boilermakers, with the help of some turnovers and the loss of a key defensive player, Jair Alexander, are now in a bit of a tough spot. And the Heisman winner of a year ago is going to have to earn it in the remaining 8:39 of the 3rd and the 4th quarter of this game. Seth Dawkins is back deep, awaiting the kick. We have a touchback, obviously. Well, you can help people affected by Hurricane Harvey by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing that, you make a $10 donation. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. And Spencer, you live in Sugar Land, just outside Houston. You were affected by it, as were so many other thousands. And boy, Texas strong does matter. And you cover the Texans, and what J.J. Watt did on social networking is maybe the greatest humanitarian act I believe I've seen by an individual player in any sport in my lifetime. Pass is dropped. It'll be 2nd and 10. But again, our thoughts and prayers, and it's been proven by so many people now. J.J. Watt at the top of that list. You can do something.
Well, he started out, did J.J. with about $500,000. Now it's past $15 million. It just shows you the impact of sport and passion coming together to solve social values. Whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a fire, doesn't matter. Sport has the capacity to change cultures. And
that pass is caught by Jalen Smith. Good for a first down, 13 yards. Hopefully for so many of those people affected tonight, we give them a bit of a break, an opportunity to lose themselves in the college game.
Tim, I had the pleasure of helping a couple of folks change roofs on the way up with some tarp on it, and it was real heartbreaking to see some of those situations. But again, that's what the spirit is all about, coming together and helping people recover.
Charles Stanberry on the receiving end of that pass. Louisville really needs an answer here. They've been held to 3 points in their last few visits inside the red zone, and of course have had turnovers as well. And the teacher has seen the pupil carve his defense apart without Jair Alexander available, and we may have another false start right here.
Yep, and see, now they're getting bold about it. Nick and company are bringing pressure packages where they were content to play zone early on.
Dwayne Hate's microphone didn't work there, but it was a false start. 9 penalties, 65 yards. Those turnovers have been crucial through the course of this game.
Well, the bottom line, Tim, the execution inside the red area. You get knocked off the ball. Bell, the young center that they've got working in there, problematic. Now you're starting to see your quarterback not complete those passes that perhaps he would have made early on. They're in tight spaces, they always have been, but you can see the execution waning a little bit for Louisville.
Stanberry was intended that time. They'll probably look, you would think, for that quick cross or slant. That's the pass that's been working for Lamar.
Purdue, their first time out of the half.
We'll see what they do after this timeout. The Boilermakers take it, and so will we. Let's go in the huddle, brought to you by SoFi, the preferred financial partner of the Big Ten Conference. Spencer, tell me what Bobby Petrino and company are discussing here.
Well, he's talking about executing and settling down. They're in the scenario where most teams will be frightened. It's 3rd and long, an obvious pass situation. But Nick, in his defensive unit, has basically gotten more aggressive and bold, coming up to the line of scrimmage, showing pressure looks, where they were resigned to stay in more zone-type packages early on. Look how close they are to the line of scrimmage now, playing down.
A lot of times familiarity breeds contempt. Nick Holt knows a lot about what Petrino's about.
As a pressure look,
Jackson, there's that cross we were discussing. Samuel with a first down. I mean, that's what's been there all night long, Spencer, those quick curls and crossing patterns.
Yeah, but you got to pay them off, and that's the key. It's about execution. If you can execute, I've got to believe in a matchup that there's not a lot of players, if you look at athleticism, shouldn't be able to beat the players of Purdue. Purdue is just timing their aggression up, and then the mistakes self-induced.
Here it comes again. Here it comes. Lots of pressure and a legit hit, and he'll pick himself up. McCollum with that pressure coming from the outside linebacker position, number 6.
Well, again, it's controlled aggression. From the inside, the pressure came from outside. It depends on who they pick up front in Louisville's front. The guy who they don't pick up gets a green light and gets to the quarterback.
Well, it's obvious that Nick Holt knows that Petrino likes to look long on first down, and he's bringing it on first down.
That's his MO. They've got the empty backfield. They're going to take a shot.
Cross again. Very physical receiver is Jalen Smith. Had a game-winning 29-yard touchdown reception with 13 seconds to beat Virginia a year ago. He's made a lot of big catches in his career.
22 yards per catch, but they're resigned to get the little slant routes and the underneath stuff. 2 deep safety look, but playing straight up man underneath.
3rd and 1. Out of the gun. Jackson will take it. Look for the line and gets it. And it's another first down with the ball at the 33.
Still a fairly decent job of Galen Robinson and company, number 13, playing with leverage. I think Bobby Petrino knows a less patient defense doesn't allow that one to break through. But you see number 13 come here, then get outside. That pressure, it just puts him on the boundary.
Looks like they're going to review. It appeared to me as though he made it without any problem. And these are awfully difficult to reverse. But it does give Purdue an opportunity to slow down Louisville. You mentioned Galen Robinson, the job he has done, he and Lorenzo Neal. All of that a little bit of a byproduct of the young center that they have taken advantage of. Let's take a look here and see what you think, Spence.
Well, I think that right foot is out, and then I don't know if he got that.
Well, I thought he made it pretty easily until we looked at it. You're right. Let's watch the right foot first.
Yeah, the right foot is planted there.
That's in.
That's in, but the left foot wasn't anywhere close.
Yeah.
And that's just got to have your head in the game. And Lamar Jackson, that's a
I'll just say this.
Mistake.
It is very rare when you see a spot ever reversed. Ever.
No, he didn't make that. That will not.
Here we go one more time. Right there. Yeah, I think you're right.
That's clear.
Let's see, though.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah.
Wow.
First down.
What did I tell you?
Wow.
What did I tell you?
Wow.
You just don't see it with a spot.
Yeah,
I don't believe I have ever seen.
Ray Charles makes that call better than that, man.
Woo. Ball at the 33, and it is the first down.
Holy cow.
That was big because it was a third down play. They would have been on a fourth down situation. Well, the good news for Purdue is they got a little bit of a break. Louisville was on the move, playing quickly. This slows them down. Jackson's pass, incomplete. Jalen Smith had the height, but could not reel it in.
Jalen's a big receiver.
Foul. Rough the passer. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty.
Now this is
first down.
Don't let your emotions get the better of you. That certainly happened here. And that is Lorenzo Neal.
I'm not so sure if Lorenzo put his head down. You know, listen, Lamar Jackson is a tall quarterback.
Yeah, he got him. The push does it. Listen, that's the college game today.
Yep.
They're going to call that every time.
Protecting play is under review.
You have to protect. You have to protect the quarterback. Now, my question to you is, are they reviewing it because they're thinking about a potential targeting?
Yeah. If it's targeting, I don't think they're going to call it targeting.
Well, I sincerely hope not, but why then would you stop and review? I mean, it's a personal foul.
Well, that's just the culture right now. They're going to definitely look at it and look at it again. That's where we are.
I contend that they don't review this unless they're thinking about that. And
I think he got him more on the shoulder pad, and I do think the crown of the helmet did butt him underneath the chin.
Under the buckle, yeah. And I mean, there is a no nonsense, no tolerance. This is, generally speaking, going to be called, by and large, more oftentimes than not.
This isn't the SEC, though.
Yeah.
we wouldn't have this discussion if we're there.
They would not have stopped play if that was not what they were looking for. That's my point. Yeah. Mike Pereira is back in our studios in Los Angeles. What do you think, Mike?
Well, first of all, on the field, they called it roughing the passer. So they didn't call it targeting. But replay's job is to get involved if they think it might be targeting, and you're going to get this announcement now.
It was determined that the contact to the quarterback was above the shoulders. Wow. Therefore, we have targeting. Defense, number 9. Number 9 is disqualified from the game.
Wow. And really, guys, I mean, we almost think of it as the old dip and rip. You've got the head down. You've got contact that comes in the chin area. That really is the definition of targeting, and replay has been instructed to actually look at this and make the call, actually create that foul of targeting on the field.
I'm absolutely, completely in agreement with you, though there are times it pains me to say that. Again, it goes back to something Joel Klatt has been talking about. We need 2 different rules for targeting, and I agree with him on this.
Well, Neal comes with a games, and he's unblocked, and that's part of the challenge there.
Well, I think that Joel's point, Mike, and you know this, is about whether it's intentional or not. And I think that the gray area now is such that whenever they stop play like this, that's what I'm anticipating is going to happen.
But let's remember, too, he's a defenseless player, and it's not just the crown of the helmet. It's anything above the face mask. So when you're dealing with defenseless, it's even more strict on the defender, and they did the right thing here.
I'm with you, Mike. Absolutely agree. By rule, this is the way it works in college football, and understandably so. And we appreciate you clarifying all of that for us.
Well, Mike made a point of that in our seminar about defenseless, the focus and emphasis on the defenseless player. It's going to be there.
Yep.
It certainly was demonstrated on that call.
Mike is absolutely spot on. The moment they stop the play to look at it, I'm immediately thinking targeting.
Yep, no question.
Jackson's pass, incomplete. Waiting for a flag, and here it comes. Samuel, the intended receiver, and he was interfered with.
So now here, the psychology of the game comes into play. If you're Purdue, you've had a couple of unfortunate calls. One of your best interior players is now out of the game.
Defense, number 21. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
I mean, that's clearly interference.
Yeah,
Marcus Bailey.
But it's really more about how they're going to respond emotionally to the series of plays that have happened that now has them backed up with a chance for Louisville to get back in this game and shut him down.
Well, he hooked him and he turned him, and I absolutely concur. Bonifant has come back into the game, into the backfield. Game has slowed down significantly with these recent calls, understandably so. Pistol look here. Yep. Jackson dumps it off. There's your ultimate RPO play. Travion Samuel takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Marcus Bailey played that extremely well. Number 21, Bobby Petrino, knows that the option was there, but number 21 just walked him out there, played it soft like you would an interior play. The old tight mesh and read happened in the inside of the line of scrimmage. Now you can play with some distance and cushion between you on the RPOs. It's a different game. It's a triple option nonetheless.
Navon Mosley took him out. On second down, Bonifant. Reggie Bonifant. Touchdown.
Just an inside zone play. Bonifant puts that shoulder down and goes and hits that pylon and gets it in for a score.
Are we going to look at this one too?
I think the ball hits the pylon. He's in.
Well, we're going to look at it. Was the ball moving? Was the ball juggling as he was headed out?
Yeah.
I hope Mike Pereira hasn't gone too far away. I think we may be calling upon him again. See, the ball is loose there.
It's out.
Is it going out?
He doesn't have control of it.
Doesn't have control, yeah.
That's coming. And if it's fumbled out,
touchback.
That's a touchback.
Yeah. This could be a touchback.
Yep.
Mike, we've been keeping you busy. What say you?
I should have traveled with you guys, for God's sakes. I think they got a couple of different things to look at here. Also, the knee. Is the knee down before the ball comes loose? But ultimately, unless you have a shot right down the line here, there's nothing that really shows you if the ball has broken the plane, either before it comes loose or if the knee is down. So based on what we're seeing here, I just don't think you can put this together and come out with anything conclusive enough to actually change it and make it anything but a touchdown.
All right, let's see. The ball is being stripped away by the defender.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Pereira is perfect, and Purdue is still upset.
That's why they pay him the big bucks, man.
Yes, indeed.
He nailed it.
Not enough to make the change. Excellent point, too, by Mike. Excellent point by him.
It's about the angles.
Yeah, it's about the angles.
Yep.
You don't have enough. They're going for two here. Smith is in the backfield. Lamar will keep it, and he is stopped short. That's a big stop for the Boilermakers. Petrino can't believe it. Nick Holt's defense does stiffen on the two-point conversion try. 21-19 our score. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders. Bobby Petrino's won a lot of games. He's a whale of a coach, but I don't know about chasing points with this much time remaining in the third quarter.
Well, you know, listen, they don't worry about things like points of possession. They believe that they can score any place. You're still just a field goal away here. And I don't know if it matters to him. I don't think he cares. Just like he doesn't care about time of possession.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a big strike offense. He can score anytime.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Well, as they say, what used to be on the old card that the old coaches had,
right?
Forget that.
By the book.
Kieran Keitlett will bring it up. He is beyond the 25 and pushed back at that point. Huge series coming up. 3 very big plays. First, this one, which turned into targeting. It was initially not. They lose Neal. Lorenzo Neal is out. Then comes this interference against the Boilers on defense, Marcus Bailey. And then the fumble that wasn't, because he had already, by rule, broken the play. Let's see how Purdue responds.
And that's really what the story is. We said it in the previous drive. The bottom line is how they respond to the controversy, in some instances, in the bad plays.
Out of the shotgun, David Blough. Running out of time. He is resourceful back there. Look at him go. Beyond the 30 to the 32.
That's a gutsy heads-up play there. Nice piece of running by Blough. He comes initially to the front side. He's looking for the outcut. It's not there. Reverses his field, pulls it down, aware of the pressure behind him that he just avoided, and pushes the ball upfield.
7 yards the pickup, and here's Gregory Phillips on the quick hitch for the first down. Gets it up to the 39. Zach Cannon, Zykesis, the given name. Youngster from Malden, South Carolina. Senior made the stop.
Jeff Brom is in his wheelhouse right now. You saw it wasn't designed for Brom to go back the other direction, but he did a fine job of orchestrating this play. Look at the way he's working the sideline here. He went to the other side in the previous play. Now up the middle, play action.
Oh boy, he broke on that one.
Yep.
That pass was not quick enough, and Mahungu almost saw that. He actually became a better defender because Ronald Walker, number 20, had his sights set on it, sitting on that quick out pattern.
But from a play calling standpoint, right now Jeff Brom is in his wheelhouse. That's a very difficult throw to the field. It's one of those NFL type throws. You got to have a big arm.
Well, that's one Sindelar would be more likely to make tonight.
But we've seen Blough make it twice tonight previously.
Second down. Blough over the middle. That's the tight end again. Tremendous catch at the 45.
See, this is beautiful play calling right here. Near side, far side, middle of the field. Right now, if you're the Cardinal defense, you don't know who to defend. You can't double anyone. It's straight man up. Now you're playing soft coverage on the perimeter. You're at a disadvantage.
Wide receiver hitch to the short side of the field to Isaac Zico. Boy, Herdman made a magnificent catch. He's got great hands, number 88, to bring that one in. I mean, that ball could have easily been trapped, but he got both big mitts under it.
But I'm just impressed with what Purdue is doing, moving the ball down the field like this at will. 4 wides now, 1 back, looking for more.
Zico to the bottom of your screen. Up at the top is Mahungu. Right over the middle again, picked off. It's intercepted. It's the linebacker that's got it, and he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Stacy Thomas.
That was the challenge last year. 21 interceptions. David Blough threw. This one ill-advised, trying to find his big back that scored earlier. This time, they're going to go the opposite direction and put a 6 spot on the board.
He wanted worship. He got an interception instead, and that picture tells it all.
Well, he's got to get his dauber up. He's still got a lot of game. He got nailed after the throw that put added insult to the injury situation there, but he's got to put his head back up. They've proven they can move the ball. It's just the mistakes crushed him on that series.
Trayvon Young with that pressure. They're going to go for 2 again. This brought on by the fact that they didn't get 2 last time. Jackson dumps it, tipped into the air and picked. So it's still a 4-point game. How do you react to duress? We'll find out when Blough and company go back on the field. Louisville regains the lead. So a pick 6 for the Cardinals on a mistake by Blough after getting a lot of pressure as he did in that drive. Turnovers so important in these early season games. Special teams play to go with it. That's about the only thing this game has missed so far is a big special teams play. Almost had one with Bonifant returning a punt.
Besides the poor decision, though, I don't think there's any reason why Jeff Brom changes his script. Everything they've done has worked. They just made that one critical mistake. Did Blough on the interception.
Yeah, this kick is a poor one. It's going to go out of bounds. So great field position coming for Purdue after the penalty.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Let's get a quick update from Los Angeles and Greg Wolf.
Tim, thanks. An upset in the making over on Fox Sports 2. Matt Rule's Baylor coaching debut in trouble. Stephen Calvert, 8-yard touchdown run. The Liberty Flames would go up 41-31. Baylor has since added a touchdown. They trail by 3 in the 4th quarter. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. Matt Rule in his very first game as they try to rebuild that program in its entirety, and Liberty is coming along and scheduling a lot of tough teams. Terry Fuller is in the backfield. 3:18 remaining in the 3rd. The ball at the 35 after the penalty yardage on the kick that was out of bounds. It's Fuller. And he's got almost the first down. Bumped out after about an 8-yard gain. They go the other way. Chucky Williams knocks him out. Take a look at how the teammates respond to David as he got over to the sidelines. He'll live to fight another day. It'll be okay. They know they need him tonight. And with the loss of Alexander and the style of play, it's pretty evident that Sindelar may be done for the night.
Yeah, he may be done for the night. Again, I got to come back to the inner game that's being played here. The play selection has been outstanding by Jeff Brom. It's that one interception that has them in this predicament right now. Otherwise, they probably would have scored on that last drive.
Yeah, Fuller, that's you'd make a great case. That could have been very easily. Well, they went for 2, so let's just call it perhaps a 6 to 9 point swing. Yep. Sindelar, who got the start, did have the touchdown pass, and it was a beauty. Has been sitting since. Ryan Langford Johnson is in the backfield now. Blough looking long, going deep. It is knocked away. Great defensive work by the Cardinals. Trumaine Washington saved that one. Intended for Jarrett Burgess. First attempt for number 80 to bring one in. That's just a great defensive play.
It was a great defensive play. Burgess probably needed to have his hands a little bit more focused, but again, it's just defensive play extraordinary on that by the Cardinals. Washington did a great job in his man coverage scheme out there on an island by himself.
Oh, that was set up. Screen was going to be there, but he overshot his man.
Yeah, Fuller was there. And the ball was accelerated because of the pressure that was staring Blough in the face. That could have been a nice play. Usually those screens usually work best when they look ugly for a period of time.
This is a very important 3rd down attempt. Boilermakers need to answer.
Yep. They're going to play zone here against this look, and may try to change this play versus this coverage scheme. A single safety look, trying to disguise it.
Pressure.
Nice.
Inside the tight end, it's Hopkins. Bryson Hopkins. Well, that last touchdown, Spencer, was tight end, tight end, tight end.
And that was usually against a cover two. That was a man-free concept with a single safety that time, which still left the middle of the field open.
4 of 9 on third down conversions now, Purdue. And there's Fuller setting sail. Marker down as he goes down at the 25. Kirk Barron, I believe the center may be tagged with holding here. This one should be coming back.
Holding, offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they got Hermans rather than Barron, but Barron had some jersey too.
Yeah, Grant Hermans is the guy that they got called there. Brom doesn't like it, but you can see here on the left side.
That's holding there.
Yeah, right there.
That's the one I saw. From the 42 now. 1st and 20. Blough running out of time, steps up and is knocked down back at the 43-yard line. Trayvon Young.
Now, Tim, I'm not making excuses for Purdue, but saving the holding penalty and the interception, has Louisville stopped them? They really haven't stopped them. They've been able to move the ball down the field effectively.
I think it was a major question. You see that receiver looked to be, he just had no time. Gregory Phillips was open, but he had no time. 2nd and 20. DJ Knox is now in the backfield. Premature movement.
There's a nose.
Yep. I'm not sure that this is a false start. This could be.
I think it was Robinson in the middle.
Sides. This could be on the defense.
Yep.
Yep, it is.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
11 penalties, 75 yards for Petrino's team. One of the questions Jeff Brom had to have answered tonight was how his receivers, his wideouts particularly, could they get free? Could they get space?
At penetration, he's certainly on the other side, and they caught him.
Listen, they've got a bunch of transfers, junior college transfers, 5th-year transfers to try to get this program going at wideout. Little chicanery, looking deep. Anthrop is back there. The pass looks to be picked off. It is. Trayshawn Smith.
That's another second big mistake there versus double coverage. Blough makes a poor decision and throws that ball right into the waiting hands of double coverage. You can see the play action, the flea flicker action. 2 deep guys covering 1, 2 white jerseys, 1 dark jersey. That's a bad decision.
Yeah. And I would also suggest that with the kind of pressure he's been getting, I don't know that you had time to pull that one off anyway.
Well, he had time to get down there. I think you're right about the protection factor.
Yeah.
But, Tim, that was just another mistake.
Yeah, the bigger, stronger, faster team is now beginning to show itself.
And the decisions, again, it's self-inflicted wounds here. Coming from the most important position at the quarterback.
Lamar Jackson swings it out. Reggie Bonifant again. This kid's got a lot going for him. You know, he began as a quarterback. Started that way as a freshman, beat Notre Dame. But he played mostly receiver. They decided really it was Lonnie Galloway, the assistant coordinator who works with Mike Summers, the offensive line coach, said, let me have him. Just give him to me. I'll put him in the backfield, line him up at wide receiver. He's the most gifted player other than Lamar Jackson that they have offensively.
Yeah, he had over 1,000 yards receiving back in 2014.
They swing it out to Malik Williams, who checks in, and he's dumped at the 28-yard line by T.J. McCollum. Or call it the 29-yard line. And the quarter comes to an end.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Louisville beginning to show its stuff. The Boilermakers making the miscues of late. Can they stay in it? And can the tight end make some key plays? The answers to these and other probing questions are next on Fox. 15 third-quarter points as you look at the score here, 25-21. Those sad faces for Louisville now suddenly not so sad anymore. They're jumping around doing a mini Wisconsin at Camp Randall. But the Boilermakers feel pretty good. They've hung close with a ranked team, and Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator, has to dial up some plays right here, Spencer. This is really the early season for Purdue defensively. They got a chance, and they're going to induce another false start.
Yeah, I'm liking the body language, though, from Purdue on the sidelines.
False start. Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's big Mekhi Becton. Freshman got caught jumping, and when he moves, everybody sees him.
Yeah, you can see him. It's hard to not to miss him. He's so big out there on that edge.
And again, it's brought on by those pressures. Holt knows that's a win. Back him up. Jackson over the middle to his tight end, Stanberry, and the senior from Montgomery's Carver High School with a grab. 3rd and 6.
Interesting philosophy after a big play like that. You know, on offense, you take a shot, but here you do just the opposite. You play more conservative.
It's 4th and 1, I should say. It was a 3rd and 6 play, and they held him shy of the 1st down. So he induces the punt off of that 3rd and 6 play that came up a yard shy.
And he's coaching them up, man. That's one of his best players, and he's taking that coaching, Bailey is.
Anthrop is back deep. A lot of pressure coming that time. And it is reeled in by Anthrop at the 33-yard line. The freshman center is getting an earful from Bobby Petrino. The class of hard knocks in college football. Fox College Football is sponsored by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA, and by AT&T. Some of the all-time greats at both Louisville and Purdue.
Love that shot of Joe Jacoby in there. How about Johnny U?
Elijah Sindelar, just as I said the game might be Blough's, he's back in the game. After those turnovers, they'll turn right back to him. Now remember, they could use Jared Sparks at some point. They have a package for him too, the wide receiver. And here's Tario Fuller ahead to the 40. One thing it does do, Spence, is it keeps Louisville defensively on their heels a little.
It really does, and nothing's changed materially in terms of how Jeff Brohm is calling the plays. He's still working the middle of the field. He found some soft spots in it. 3/4 of the game, he figured out exactly how they were going to play them defensively, and this is the 4th quarter where he's just exploiting that.
Boy, great penetration that time by Louisville's Ronald Walker coming in. The corner made a senior play that time.
Yeah, number 20 really just lasered off of that edge, man, and just collapsed it down as Blough looks on. Last 2 possessions have not been impressive. Both times interceptions, 7 direct points off the turnovers there. That's really the difference in this game.
Blough played brilliantly for a couple of series, and then the mistakes in the last 2. DJ Knox is in the backfield. 3rd down, 3.
Nice.
There goes Anthrop. He's been a money player through the course of this game all evening long.
I just love the courage and the play selection. Everybody talk. This is a jet sweep action here. Anthrop gets to the edge. It doesn't look like it's impressive, but what it's doing is putting stress on the entire width of the field. That's what's frustrating. Now you're forced to defend everything. There's going to be some breaches in the coverage as a result.
Remember, Louisville, without their best defender, Jair Alexander, injured, has not returned. Knox remains in the backfield. Sindelar with a rifle shot inside the 45 to the 42. Gregory Phillips, the senior from Atlanta, top returning wide receiver by receptions to this team, only 17. That shows you how they were hit by graduation from a season ago. That's a 13-yard gain.
Every arrow remains in the quiver for Jeff Brohm in this offense. Now he's working pace and tempo to get up to the line of scrimmage, not to rush the playoff, but to discern what the coverage is so that he can exploit it. Single safety look. They can run against this, or they can throw. Man coverage comes at a premium with an edge rusher. Nice.
Quick out, and it's to Mahungu. Right in front of Tremaine Washington, who's played very well in one-on-one coverage at times tonight for Louisville.
He sets his eyes on there, don't have to worry about sitting on it in terms of giving one a read because it's man coverage. There's nobody else to compromise the throw. He just has to make sure it's on point when he does throw it.
Tario Fuller back into the game. 4 wides, 1 guy in the backfield along with Sindelar. Out to Phillips again. He cuts it back in. Down at the 28-yard line, and they dink and dunk along as they did with Blough in those 2 series that helped give them the 8-point lead.
Jeff Brohm with a nice nuance to that play, moving his quarterback slightly out of the pocket, and that move keeps those linebackers honest to give a cleaner, more practical read for his quarterback, Sindelar.
Elijah appeared in 5 games as a redshirt freshman last year. No starts, but he was a Mr. Kentucky football. Shares that with his head coach, Mr. Brohm. Pump fake and a beauty. Looking long for Anthrop. Incomplete. And a flag. Not sure this might not be against Anthrop. This could be offensive pass interference. Against Tremaine Washington, he may have pushed off there.
You may be right, Tim, but I think it's going to be on the defense.
Well, let's
Washington is in a bail technique. Does he try to do? No, he bumps into him. It's going to be defense.
Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty.
I saw the arms come out, but you're right. The contact was initiated by the defender. You're right.
Washington backed into him, and it happened. You're right. The contact did happen after that.
Yeah. Well, a little creative tension is okay. See, that looks like a push-off
right
to me.
there, brother.
But in real time, that looked like a push.
No, we'll
and
take
Elijah will take it too. Any way you cut it, it's a break for Purdue. 13th penalty, 95 yards against Louisville. Miscues have been big for the Cards tonight. Sindelar is going back shoulder that time, but it was really well defended. He was looking for Hopkins, the tight end. But that was really well defended by Louisville. Stacey Thomas was over there in coverage, the middle linebacker, 32.
You know, that would have worked if it were a stop fade route. You know, usually when your man coverage guy's back, you can stop and put that ball on the timing point and complete that. And the defender runs himself out of defense on that particular play. Bad throw.
2nd and 10. Sindelar for Anthrop. Touchdown!
Rolling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under review.
This one was on a rope, and he threw it right between that tight window. Anthrop delivering the anthrax on that play.
He had the ball. They're going to look at it because they have to. It's a touchdown, but he had control of the ball as it hit. Anytime it's a touchdown, they're going to review it. But that's a throw, frankly, at this stage, David Blough cannot make.
Well,
now that's not being disrespectful. The kid's been hurt.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. But again, that you guys saw him in practice, and you saw the efficiency was not there. The accuracy, the power was not there. Sindelar can do it. You can see the hand underneath here, Timmy. The right hand is underneath the ball.
That's a catch.
He turns his shoulder. I think that's a clear catch, in my opinion.
I have no problem with the review, but it's got to be a catch. And we're getting some backup, I think, from Mr. Pereira and Mr. Blandino back in Los Angeles. Can't wait to see Dean next week. He'll be with us in West Lafayette. We've got a special Friday game.
Is Dean flying solo next week?
With us, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you know, Mike's got to have time to play a little golf.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And because, I'm going to point this out now, because Louisville chased points, this extra point will give Purdue a 3-point lead. Just want it. Just thought I'd say that.
Point made, Tim.
Okay.
You got it. Point made.
And they chased points with 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
But you got to understand who's that coordinator over there. That's Bobby Petrino.
That is a laser. And Anthrop, who says his quarterback Sindelar has been on point, is just that again. Fox College Football is sponsored by Discover Card. We treat you like you treat you.
You know, Tim, the game inside the game makes this so cool. Jeff Brom beginning his college coaching career as a Louisville assistant from 2003 to 2006. And really hadn't decided on whether or not he wanted to do this until he consulted with this mentor again.
Yeah. When Petrino got his second chance at Western Kentucky, the call came from Jeff Brom, and he said, you know, I think I've figured out that I really want to be a head coach one day. Do you have a job for me? Well, he did. And a circuitous route taken to Purdue. He got a 6-year deal from Mike Bobinski, the new athletic director, who came over from Georgia Tech. And this reboot with a $65 million facility at their stadium that you'll see more of next Friday on FS1. This is a new era underway, and they have the lead as this boot once again goes all the way through by Spencer Evans. And what a difference maker that is when you've got speed merchants back there to return kicks. Well, time now for the expectation-shattering drive of the game, sponsored by Buick. The last drive was it.
Well, you can see what came on the drive. I told you all the arrows were still in the quiver. They worked the edges, put pressure on this defense, and then the laser at the end to pay it off. Number 33 is a player now. Anthrop is an unbelievable player. Watched him talk to him in the warm-ups, catching those little tennis balls. Showed you the deft precision of his hands and eye coordination.
Well, let's see what the Heisman Trophy winner of a season ago can do. It's now an incompletion as DeJuan Hunt was there. That receiver was breaking off his route. Seemed to be some miscommunication between the two. Seth Dawkins just stopped his route, and it's 2nd down and 10.
And one thing that's a discernible difference between the second half and the first half is the amount of rushing yardage available to number 8. Hasn't been there.
Quick cross. It's complete to Samuel, and he's racked up at the 29-yard line. Avon Mosley, number 27, who plays some nickel as well as backup strong safety. There to drag him down. Huge 3rd down play here.
It is big, Tim. You know, Lamar Jackson, first half, 60 yards rushing, second half, just 5.
3rd down and 6. Jalen Smith, you'd think, down at the bottom of your screen, could be a go-to guy here. Jackson looks across the middle. It's caught right in the seam. Des Fitzpatrick, big-time throw and catch. Thieneman drags him down.
That's confidence of a guy in Bobby Petrino who feels like he can score at any time. Yes, their execution has been off, but there's very few play callers that are as confident, as bold, and will take the top off you quick as a hiccup as Bobby Petrino.
39 yards on the connection. Jackson gets away from the edge. Pressure. Now in trouble. Throws it away. Great pressure from Izuchukwu, but he went high, and Lamar was able to just shrug him off his back and
He
move on.
spins out of Izuchukwu. Does a nice job of grabbing him over the top, but again, number 8 is a wizard, man. He spins out of that tackle. That's a reverse Hector. Comes out the other end. Manages to throw it away.
Well, you know that they actually have a train here with the Boilers, as you know. Tonight they might rename it Izuchukwu.
That's right.
Yeah. Bonifine on the read. It's going to be Lamar right up with power. And he's got it to the 20 and another 1st down. Mosley, a 12-yard pickup. Mosley makes the stop.
And that by far and away is the biggest rush he's had in this second half. Again, 12-yard gain there. Premier's 5-yard total in the second half.
Remember when I asked Bobby Petrino at our meeting yesterday, don't you just think sometimes that why not just run power with number 8? Just let him go.
He said he tried the under center stuff, but then that was his little homage.
Over the middle and touchdown. It's Fitzpatrick again.
Well, look at the confidence and the depth, focus of Bobby Petrino, about as staid as it gets. He's not worried about any possession in terms of time. He knows he's a big strike artist, and at any point in time, the points can come. He spent 3 quarters setting this up, Tim.
Yep. Lamar Jackson just once again proved why he arguably is the best player in college football in 2017. That was one of those, all right, time to get the job done. I've already got the Heisman. I didn't get any pub. I'm letting people know I'm here to stay and make you pay. It's 32-28 Louisville. 9:01 left. Get ready to start your day with First Things First. Weekday mornings on FS1. Hosts Chris Carter and Nick Wright will kick off the day with the latest in sports. First Things First premieres Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders here at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Kieran Catlett, DJ Knox are back deep awaiting this kick. Louisville with the lead by 4, 32-28.
Returnable.
Catlett from the 2. Stopped at the 20-yard line, an 18-yard return. Let's get a game break from Los Angeles. Greg Wolf.
All right, Tim, let's check back in on number 1 Alabama, number 3 Florida State. Damian Harris right up the middle, 11-yard touchdown, 2-point conversion good. Alabama leads 21-7, and the defense just picked off DeAndre Francois on the ensuing possession. Back-to-back turnovers for Florida State. Back to you guys.
Unable to get a run game going, which is synonymous with Alabama defensively. Going into the third quarter, they only had 26 yards rushing the football, Florida State. You got to have some help.
Yeah, you do. But Damon Harris, Bo Scarborough, they're so deep at running back.
There's a great corner blitz by Washington, nailing Sindelar, and now Louisville is beginning to smell it.
Yep, that pressure coming off the back end. You can see it here. Washington had him in his gun sights, and he came, lowered that shoulder, made an excellent play to put Purdue in a deeper hole.
Louisville at this stage now can just pin their ears back and come after them with 2nd down and 18.
But they're playing off coverage, just rushing 4. Nice call, but you got to keep your feet and pay it off.
Yeah, the pass was a little high for Knox, and he could not get himself turned around. So it's 3rd and long after a loss of a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 19.
Your screens are typically not great plays as Jeff Braun looks on when you got soft coverage, because everybody is looking back there. The numbers are in the back half. You really want to call a screen when they've got a lot of people around the line of scrimmage.
This crowd is really 50-50. Louisville only a couple of hours away in one direction. West Lafayette 90 minutes or so in another. And the Cardinal faithful are on their feet. Sindelar under duress. Incomplete. Again, great pressure from the Cardinals. Off the edge, Grenard was the first to get Sindelar in trouble. And on 4th and 19, they'll have to boot it out of there.
Great defensive effort by the Louisville Cardinal on that, putting Purdue in the hole. That's the first series we've seen in this second half where this offense has been shut down. To that point, Jeff Braun has been able to move the ball with Sindelar. He's coaching him up right now, trying to find a solution, temporarily stall on offense.
Bonifant is waiting at the 50. This is big for Chopper here. He's got to get a boomer off, and he's a quality punter. Needed it, and he got a good one off. Bonifant is back at his 40. Takes it, and great coverage by Purdue. Beautiful punt right when you needed it, a 48-yarder. I mentioned Indianapolis, a midway point on Interstate 65 for Purdue and Louisville. The two schools separated by 165 miles. Purdue 68 miles from downtown Indy, while the Cardinals had to travel 117 to get here today. first meeting since a 22-22 tie 30 years ago. Fred Akers was coaching at Purdue after 10 years at Texas.
Yep.
And Howard Schnellenberger was in year 3 for Louisville, en route to taking them to great heights with Blough and with Browning Nagel, and bowl victories after bowl victories. Really launched the program back then. Once again,
it's
false
been the
start
bane of their existence all night long. False starts.
Illegal snap infraction. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty.
Poor
First
Robbie
down.
will be hearing from Bobby a little bit later, as well as his offensive line coach. That's Mike Summers right there. A lot of work left for him, but Mike has got grandkids that are close by, and this is a man that's been hired 5 different times by Bobby Petrino.
Bobby likes his coaching style. He's got a way with those offensive linemen, particularly centers. It pays off. His youngster is struggling tonight.
Yeah, low snap. Jackson handles it. Cannot get back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job of bottling number 8 in. He's had that 12-yard run a little bit earlier, but again, prior to that, 5 total yards rushing in the second half, as opposed to a stellar first half with 60.
TJ Jallow, number 5. We've called his name a lot tonight. Very physical player out of East Mississippi Community College. Stepping up in talent level tonight for him, and he's answered the bell. Bonifant again is in the backfield. And on the zone read, it's going to be Lamar Jackson, a relatively conservative call at this stage for this offense. But it is 3rd down, and as you said, Bobby thinks he can dial one up whenever he likes.
Yep.
So we'll see here.
They're going to empty the backfield and go 5 wide. I think it's impressed right now as we look on it, Nick. They're doing this without their man in the middle, Lorenzo Neal.
Ejected for the game for targeting the first half of next week. And once again, it's Fitzpatrick, the go-to guy late. Boy, he's been huge. The redshirt freshman from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Well, when they need to find the matchups, they truly find it. Fitzpatrick there on that play. Found a nice spot in that zone underneath. Gets upfield for additional yardage. Bobby Petrino doing a little surgery now.
21 yards, and the clock goes tick, tick, tick. Purdue needs a stop.
Yep.
At the very least, hold them to 3.
They're going to bail out here.
Well, that looked like a shovel that didn't happen. And how about that ad-lib job? Stops on a dime, goes the other way, has the first down.
Wow.
That would be special.
Keelan Robinson really had no solution. Number 13 tries to squat and lay down on him again. The speed beats him to the corner. And number 8 just does what he did so frequently for the better half of last season. Obviously slowed down those last 3 losses, but boy, I'm telling you, he is something special to watch operate.
We heard all the noise. That's now 99 yards on 19 rushes after a 15-yard carry. Bonifant, he takes it inside the 10 to the 7, and as I said, a touchdown here could really be too much for this young Purdue team to overcome with the way Louisville is playing.
Nice job of Bonifant showing some vision, coming back there to be able to see where that hole was going to open up right. Excellent job of seeing that hole. Nice vision. A lot of backs get in there and they run to darkness, but you got to be able to see where the void is and run to it.
We have a false start again. I believe we did. That's really slowed them down tonight.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This time it's Bonifant as opposed to one of the interior linemen. Think about this. Louisville is the only team in the ACC to start on the road 2 times in this season. They have to go to North Carolina next week, who lost to Cal, by the way, we should point out earlier today. Now, after that, they get Clemson at home the week after Clemson plays Auburn.
Well, it's a bit of a risk, but it's part of the climate of college football. Now, if you can make that claim about how you're not afraid to play away from home and tough competition, that's a benefit.
Jackson tipped in the air, incomplete. Boy, that could have been picked. That could have been picked 2 or 3 times. Bentley had a shot.
Yes.
Izuchukwu is the one that actually tipped it into the air.
You had 4 black shirts around that ball. I'm not so sure how that did not get intercepted. Jackson is trying to get the little skinny post route in there.
Bentley had a shot at it as well.
Yeah, underneath coverage was great. That's the hand there. Bentley finally got a ball.
That's a snap on the ground, and Jackson has to ad-lib. That one was rolled to him.
That will drive Bobby Petrino absolutely nuts. First of all, two things. The ball is snapped on the ground. The youngster having all kind of problems on the back shoulder. The incompleted pass by Jackson. He really can't see through the men up front. That's the challenge for him.
You know, you wonder if they actually get a better opportunity with this much more room to work with.
That's a great point.
You really do. In this offense, it's such a quality vertical passing game. But if Purdue wants to hang in this and have a chance to win it, they need to stop right here. Jackson, incomplete. Dawkins, the intended receiver. And with the help of the false start issue, once again, Louisville is stopped in the red zone by this stingy Purdue defense.
Nick Holt has something to do about it. You know, Bobby Petrino is frustrated because of the defensive play. Nick Holt and this Purdue Boilermaker stop unit has played really, really well when they've not been put in binds by interception, poor decisions by the quarterback. I think they've acquitted themselves nicely tonight.
Creaky from 30. Right through the uprights. Tough evening for the redshirt freshman snapping the ball, but once it's gotten there, some good things have happened. It's a learning process week 1. Intersectional matchups that are down one interstate. We lead to this game summary. Lamar Jackson's putting up the kind of numbers you need. The turnovers have been the problem for both teams. 5 lead changes in total, but the Boilermakers have a chance. Down 7 with 4 and change remaining. Catlett lost it out of bounds. That's what happens to teams that are 9 and 39 in the last few years.
Yeah, you know, Timmy, it's basic in special teams. You have to square up the ball. Anytime you turn your body to the sideline, if you don't field it properly, the only way the ball can go is out of bounds. You've got to get that left foot up the field and your shoulders parallel to the inline. If you don't, the ball has no place to go but out of bounds.
Well, you're really in a hole. The ball is spotted at the 4-yard line. Elijah Sindelar, sophomore from Princeton, Kentucky, has to make something happen here.
Oh, nice move.
Quick out off the rollout action.
Great play call.
To Gregory Phillips.
Move him out of the pocket, away from the pressure to the wide side of the field. A single receiver out there. That was a heads-up call that actually had a run or pass option aspect to it. Brilliant play.
13 yards and a first down. Tario Fuller is in the game in the backfield.
Nice.
Quick curl right to Mahungu. And Anthony Mahungu. 13 catches and 99 yards a season ago against Tremaine Washington right there for another first down.
So now Jeff Brom using pace and tempo as a tactical weapon here. Unlike before, trying to get to the line of scrimmage and get the ball off fairly quickly as long as they're completing passes.
Sindelar in trouble. Had to rush that pass as a result. Mahungu, the intended receiver, but he had to get rid of that one in a hurry. A lot of pressure that time off the edge for Louisville.
Late pressure coming outside by Louisville. Put pressure and then a little bit up the middle as well.
Trayvon Young, 91, the first one to get there. 2nd and 10. Big ticket plays that belong to number 33, Jackson Anthrop tonight. He is flanked in the slot to the top of your screen. Ball is tipped. Phillips, the intended receiver, incomplete. Thought someone tipped that one at the line. Could have been just a wounded duck.
Yeah, I like
someone
the
did tip it. It did get tipped.
Yeah, it was tipped, but I think it was an outcut, the back shoulder outcut that was there.
Yeah. 3rd and 10. Fuller remains in the backfield.
Showing pressure.
And we got all sides. Free play here to work with.
As Robinson.
See what Sindelar does. Incomplete. Should be a free play. He was going for Hopkins, the tight end. Zykesis Cannon, 24, in coverage.
Offside. Defense. Number 94. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
G.G. Robinson.
Yep.
The guilty party. Mentioned a moment ago, Spencer, there's the offside, you see.
G.G. Robinson playing that little nose tackle concept and just got a little bit anxious. Shot in that A gap.
You've been talking about Jackson Anthrop, 33.
I love him, man. He's a playmaker.
He's in the slot at the top of your screen, right there, 33. Just turned around for the signal. 5 for 11 on 3rd down.
I love this action right here, right now. There it is.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage again by Young, Trayvon Young.
Got to be patient. There'll be 2 routes that will develop. He should have went to the outside. He forced the underneath look here. The opportunity was to the right. Got a good block in front of him. Got him hands down.
Got away with a hole, too, by Matt McKinnon, 79. 4th and 5. This is your ball game. It's all right here. A must-make for Purdue. And a stop that could pretty much put a period on it.
Pressure late.
Anthrop, 1st down.
He's a baller, man. You know, I think it was Torrey Holt, NC State years ago, that coined the phrase, big days, big plays. Anthrop is the guy that fulfills that.
Sindelar with the middle for the tight end, Herdman. You'd have to say, other than Anthrop, 33, it's been about Herdman and Hopkins, the tight ends, in this offense all night.
Well, the outcut is there, but it's really the hands and the control of Anthrop there. That ball was placed exactly where it needed to be, but when you go up and high point it and you got strong hands, you come down. That's just all about the player.
Sindelar back to Anthrop again. Well, you better make that tackle isolated one-on-one, and he did. Well done by Pass, the sophomore from Columbus, Georgia, out of Carver High School.
Great open field tackle by Pass, as you said. Again, if that ball is put on his outside shoulder, I think Anthrop is able to make the turn upfield. As it was, he was stalled a little bit, would actually help the defender make the play.
3rd down and 7.
This is a tough spot right here.
Well, you know you've got 4 plays to work with. See what they go with. Pass was overthrown, intended for Fuller. Most of what has worked tonight for Purdue has been when one of their guys out of the backfield has been in motion, not stopping.
Yeah, I mean, when you can clear people out and you've got man concepts, I mean, that's usually what you got to do. You got to find where the matchup is. You can do that in real time.
Well, let's see where Anthrop is. They've also got Gregory Phillips, who's had his fair share of catches tonight as well. 4th down and 7.
Tight bunch formation. Let's see if they bring him underneath.
Anthrop in
Switch
motion.
out, they got him.
There it is. He's got the 1st down. You know, this isn't hieroglyphics. At this stage of the game, you get it to your best playmaker.
That's right, man. And it really is about how you get it to him. Creative. You can, by formation. After a while, the short motion got him over there. The switch route, that was what we call a not-so-natural pick on that play right there.
Pressure. Sindelar just has to get rid of it. Nice stunt that time by the Louisville defense. Peter Sermon, we haven't mentioned his name much. The former Tennessee Titan linebacker, now defensive coordinator, coming over from Mississippi State. He had been at a number of spots. Really happy to be with this Louisville program right now, adapting to the players that he has. That's what he's doing, and they've got big possibilities, and they're doing this tonight without Jair Alexander, their best player since he got hurt.
Nice.
That pass is picked off, intercepted, intended for Zico. Chucky Williams got it.
Did Chucky get his feet in? He certainly made an athletic play. He got one down.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He got both of them down.
That was a bunny hop.
The first one down clearly was in. Athletic body control. There's that left leg. It's in. Clearly in.
He bounced once. Here's the bounce. That's in.
And he's got control of it.
What happened on the second one didn't matter.
It didn't matter. One is all you need.
That's the 4th Purdue turnover. And you had to figure it would come down to either Purdue making a play or Louisville defensively getting a pick.
Yep.
The way this second half has gone.
Well, the thought and the concept was there. The ball just didn't have enough on it to get to his destination.
Well, what a test, though, for Louisville. And it's not over yet. It's the hay is not in the barn with timeouts remaining. They do have 2, so could get it back. But Lamar Jackson may not allow that to happen. He's going to go out of bounds.
Well, if they keep running
unbelievably. I don't know why he did that.
Tim, if they keep running to the short side of the field and he makes decisions like that, running it out of bounds, you know, that's not smart football.
No, that's not wise. Purdue's got 2 timeouts to work with.
Timeout. Purdue.
That's one.
Their second timeout of the half.
I don't know why they did that. That may come back to haunt them because, boy, I tell you, you got to get the right personnel on the field, but
I think that's
that timeout right there.
That's why they had to take
problem.
it. That's why they had to take it. They didn't have the right personnel on the field. Guarantee you, he didn't want it. He didn't want to take it. He didn't, but he had to. Because if you don't have the right personnel in with Lamar Jackson at quarterback, it may be game, set, and match. But all things considered, Spitzer.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
I believe we've got Mike Pereira back in Los Angeles. Who might want to explain to us why that timeout was taken.
The notion people are asking how come the clock started, and here's the rule in college.
Right.
Outside of 2 minutes of either the second quarter or the fourth quarter, if a runner goes out of bounds, the clock restarts after they place the ball down and make it ready for play.
Yeah.
Once you get inside of 2 minutes, then the clock remains stopped. But that's why they had to take the timeout here, just to save those additional 17 seconds.
Thank you for that clarification, Mike. We appreciate that. Bonifant is back in the backfield. 2nd and 6. Adjustments have been made in the offseason to try to speed the game up. Here's Lamar Jackson again, and he's about 3 yards shy of the first down. But you're right, Spencer. Keeps running to the boundary.
I'm not quite sure why they're running to the short side of the field.
I mean, final timeout of the half.
Wow.
30-second timeout.
So that's the final timeout, and it will really come down to a must-stop here. Try to force a punt from the Cardinals, and they need about 2.5 yards.
So let's see if they hang their hat with pressure or if they try to play coverage. First half, they were very effective at least containing number 8.
Jackson, by the way, responsible for a total of 485 yards tonight on what we call a quiet night, right? 30 of 47 for 378, 2 touchdowns in the air, 107 yards rushing for a total of 485.
Now Louisville's going to take a timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout. Louisville. First timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Bobby's working the headlinesman over. Let's take a look at that overall evening for Lamar Jackson. And there were some blunders along the way, but as usual, when the time came to make a play, he did.
He really did, and he was accurate in the middle of the field. That was one of the criticisms and one of the reasons why people probably downgraded him a little bit. And he didn't get the acclaim that you would expect of a Heisman Trophy winner, and then the subsequent opener, he just didn't have it there. But today he's done a couple of things to acquit him and give him some sense that he has improved. He's about 13 pounds heavier, a little bit more accurate at times, but just all the mistakes made up front on the offensive line was problematic tonight.
Had a chance to visit with him on a summer series that we had. And then I also saw Matt Leinert's piece with him that aired before our game tonight on Fox. And you can see, really humble kid, wants to work on a lot of things to get better. Footwork is a lot of it. Nick Petrino is the quarterback's coach. By the way, Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator for Purdue, was in Nick's wedding.
That's right, he was. He didn't have preferred seating, but he was in it.
Somewhere Oscar Braum, the coach at Trinity, is smiling, going into the Kentucky Hall of Fame with all of the connections between the Braums and the Petrinos. Bonifon didn't get it. Not even close. I mean, it's a full yard, maybe yard and a half shy. So Nick Holt's defense stingy again. Boy, short yardage has been a problem for Louisville tonight.
Well, it really has. And again, they didn't even have to get aggressive. They did play tight around the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you, they got their same personnel in. Tim, this defense has been stout.
Well, they may be contemplating going for it, too.
Yep, this is about run fit right here. It's just a little bit more Robinson and company sticking their nose in there, denying the yardage forward.
They're taking their time before making any abrupt changes. They're going to use that timeout, I gather. Use as much of the clock as possible. Get it down as low as they can before taking the timeout. They still have one remaining.
Timeout. Louisville, their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So they're going to punt it. Purdue should have decent field position.
Boy, what a game we've got for you tomorrow. You think two coaches' quality of lives will be impacted by the outcome here? Special night of college football. Great matchup. SEC meets Pac-12. Rosen and company. In the Rose Bowl. College football kicks off on a special night, 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Yeah, how about that king of the Power 5 mountain in week 1? The Big Ten so far undefeated. Now, they did have one Big Ten team lose, but that was to another Big Ten team.
That's right.
And Powers are looking pretty good in early going here. Jackson Anthrop is back deep. They'll boot it away. Mason King to handle the chores. Pressure. End over end. Anthrop has to take it on the bounce. Get as much as he can and then prance out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 47-yard boot.
So 1:14. That's plenty of time for Purdue.
No timeouts.
No timeouts. But I'm going to tell you something about this play caller here. He is a master at the clock management, and he's got arsenals, plays in his quiver that he can pull out for this exact situation.
Well,
he already knows in advance what he wants to run. It's whether or not the quarterback can execute it.
They had a few in their hip pocket at practice the other day that they have not utilized as yet. My guess is whatever was in the kitchen sink is going to come out right here. It is Sindelar. Took over after Blough threw his second interception in the second half. David did a nice job for a period of time, as has Sindelar. Pass is behind Bryson Hopkins. Pressure had a little something to do with that.
Yeah, the ball was off the mark too.
Nothing wrong with an incompletion though, given the clock and the time remaining.
Yep.
2nd and 10.
Got to work the edges.
Louisville understanding that. Very spread out defensively. Over the middle again. That one is taken by Fuller. And he's pushed back at the 22-yard line. Clock goes tick, tick, tick. Under a minute remaining. Sindelar incomplete. He was looking for Anthrop. That was a real good defensive play by Zakesis Cannon, 24. Zach is his nickname, and understandably so.
Yeah, Cannon was in there. That was a bang-bang play, boy. It happened, and you can see almost when the ball arrived, Cannon was right there with his power dry, ready to deliver a blow.
Fourth down has been a problem. But 2 for 2 here on 4th. And they get it out to Fuller, and he stopped. Ronald Walker made the play, and Purdue has run out of plays. But boy, do they! I think they take a lot from this, Spencer.
No question about it. Nice little job of looking off the coverage. that's the type of play that's not going to work backed up like this. You've got to really get the ball to the boundary, or to the perimeter rather, and push it upfield. You're out of timeouts. You don't have the skill position players to outrun people. You got to throw the ball out there.
Great to be back with you, partner.
Same here, my friend.
20 of the last 21 years we've been together in the fall.
Well, yesterday's wine. You get better with time, Timmy.
We'll be back at it next week in West Lafayette. We'll see the Boilers again on FS1 against Ohio U. Frank Solich's team, one of the favorites in their division in the Mid-American Conference. College football is here, and it is by far the best season yet on the Fox family of networks. Two guys that know and respect one another well. Teacher and pupil there. Petrino and Blough. 35-28. Louisville having to come from behind to win it against a Purdue Boilermakers team that was pumped up. And before a really outstanding crowd of better than 40,000 here in Indianapolis. And these fans of both Purdue and Louisville just love coming to Indy, and why not? They gave us a whale of a game. Louisville now will set sail for North Carolina, stinging from a loss earlier today at home in Chapel Hill. Larry Fedora's team will try to come back against the Cardinals, and then Louisville will be at home to take on Clemson, the team that knocked them out, but probably the game that gave Lamar Jackson a great heads up on last year's Heisman. That'll be in week 3, one of the really big games of that weekend. Doesn't get any easier in the ACC. Both Big Ten and ACC fans would love to believe coming into this season their leagues are the best, at least coming off of the end of 2016. We shall see. Let's go downstairs to Holly Saunders. She's got Bobby Petrino.
Coach, how crucial was your defense in the second half with respect to turning this game around?
Yeah, our defense did a great job. We put them in bad situations offensively. Giving up, not scoring early like we could have, and made it a real tight game. I was happy to see our defense come through and get the stops they needed.
Hey, Coach, you had a very good friend across the field tonight in Jeff Brom. How impressed were you with the way that Purdue battled?
Oh, they did a great job. They did a nice job executing their offense. Defensively, we couldn't block their inside guys. They're big and physical.
Coach, enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Tim?
All right, thank you, Holly, and great to have you with us this season. We look forward to a magnificent 2017 campaign. The Heisman winner defends his turf tonight, but it wasn't easy. Louisville gets the win. We'll be back on the other side to wrap it all up for you right after this. Tomorrow, it's a special night of college football on Fox, a great matchup. The SEC beats the Pac-12. Josh Rosen and the Bruins welcome the Aggies of Texas A&M to the Rose Bowl. College football kicks off on a special night, 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Gus and Joel will have it for you along with Jenny Tapp. Boy, it's a fun night for us in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, and Holly Saunders. Many thanks to all of our guys in the crew. We're together, our crew together for the very first time. Listen, I thought that Louisville clearly had issues after Jair Alexander got hurt, their best defender.
Right.
And it looked like Purdue took advantage of that. And it was David Blough first, but then when he made the mistake, now all of a sudden some anxiety comes in. There's another pick. And then Sindelar came back in to find his friend Jackson Anthrop, who made big play after big play.
Timmy, it's the old axiom of this game. When you find yourself in the negative position in the turnover category, you're going to lose about 82% of the time. And that's exactly what happened tonight. The quarterback, the starter, David Blough, reverted back to his form of 2016. 25 touchdown passes to 21 interceptions.
Yeah.
That big differential right there was an indicator that if he got back into that mode again, they wouldn't have problems.
Look out, though, for their run game. They're getting better in that area with those 5 different backs. And Ohio U next week, that's a quick turnaround, and Frank Solich's team is really good. I mean,
they're predicted to win their conference,
their
and
division,
so their division within the conference. And so, Ohio's going to be a tough out for them.
Give me your thoughts on Lamar, because it was a really quiet 107 yards rushing. He had 485 total for the night.
I'm not going to say he answered all of the critics' questions, but I think when it was time to make plays, he did what a big-time player, a Heisman Trophy winner, should do. Things that he did not do during the 3 games to end last year, particularly the bowl game at LSU. That was really embarrassing, inexplicable loss at home to Kentucky. And then, of course, it was just a tough situation for him to overcome those and to make the case that he deserved the Heisman Trophy. He won that in the first half of the year.
See you next week, partner.
All right, brother.
Make sure now it's Friday on FS1. All right, be there. Well, the Cardinals travel to North Carolina next Saturday. Spencer, Holly, and I will be en route to Purdue, their home opener against Ohio. And don't forget UCLA, Texas A&M tomorrow night. For Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders, our producer Jake Jolivet, Mitch Riggin, our director, our entire sports crew. This is Tim Brando saying so long from Indy.